This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska. This broadcast is presented by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for machinery, ag equipment, and more. Visit GoCurrency.com. Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose. Find out more at LibertyFirstCU.com. Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to ThinkMidway.com.
Good afternoon and welcome to Kearney for this presentation of college sports on News Channel Nebraska. I'm Michael Shively, joined by Scott Hoffman, and we're getting ready for some critical mid-season MIAA football. The Nebraska Kearney Lopers hosting the Washburn Ichabods, and these teams come in with identical 1-3 records, and if you talk to either coach, they understand they have more talent than that record lets on. So that makes this a pretty important game as you head towards the mid part of the season. The Lopers are coming off a loss against number 3 nationally ranked Pitt State. Scott, what did you see in that matchup?
Well, I'll tell you what, the Loper defense played really well in the first half, and really in the first 3 quarters. They were up 7-3 at halftime and had a lead going into close to the fourth quarter, and then just kind of wore it down. The UNK offense from time to time looked great again, but then we had some turnovers and some mistakes, had to use some timeouts, and you just can't do that against a great team, and especially at a place like Pittsburgh State.
Meanwhile, Washburn, they're a team that has a lot of young players, but they're a familiar opponent because they've had the same coach for more than 20 years. And everything I've heard all week is they do what they do. What is it that the Ichabods do?
Well, Craig Shurig's been there for 22 or 23 years, as you said, and he's a guy that wants to establish the run. They're pretty basic on defense. They want to keep things in front of them, play complementary football. I know that's a cliche, but essentially what he wants to do is own the clock, keep his defense on the sideline, and make you pay.
It's UNK hosting Washburn, and it's coming your way soon on News Channel Nebraska.
UNK is a place where quality education meets hands-on learning, and going the extra mile gets rewarded. It's a place where you can put yourself out there, reach your goals, and set new ones you never thought possible. Be yourself, but develop the best version of you. Let us show you what you're made of. Be blue, be gold, be bold. Apply now to the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Learn more at unk.edu.
Let's talk about your key players in this matchup between the Lopers and Ichabods. First for the home team, UNK. Not often that we spotlight an offensive lineman as the key player, but we're expecting to see a new face at center, but he's a familiar face in Hunter Hayes.
Hunter Hayes, preseason All-American, considered to be one of the best offensive guards in Division II football. And unfortunately this year he's had to play several positions. Today he's starting at center because UNK's had some snap issues the last couple of weeks, and they just have to get that fixed. In this kind of an offense where you're asking your quarterback to make some reads, he can't be looking down at the ball. So he's got to get that ball in his hands and make some get a good look at it, and hopefully Hunter can get him the ball.
Washburn, they have a freshman quarterback. We expect them to run the football, and that means giving the ball to Talon Peters.
Talon Peters is a good football player. He's pretty solid. He does not real dynamic in terms of, a bunch of highlights and that kind of stuff, but you can give him the ball a lot of times, and he's going to just keep getting yardage, and he's a workhorse.
The Lopers are about ready to take the field here at Cope Stadium. We'll visit with Coach Ryan Held next, then get your starters here on News Channel Nebraska.
My dad's addiction and death from overdosing on opioids has taught me it's likely that everybody knows somebody who is struggling with this very problem. Losing my mentor, my best friend, he took one pill too many that ultimately killed him.
UNK is a place where quality education meets hands-on learning, and going the extra mile gets rewarded. It's a place where you can put yourself out there, reach your goals, and set new ones you never thought possible. Be yourself, but develop the best version of you. Let us show you what you're made of. Be blue, be gold, be bold. Apply now to the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Learn more at unk.edu.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Well, just play consistent football, get us in the right front calls and make sure that they play hard and get the good snaps, and that'll give us a chance to execute each play.
We focused on running back carries last home game. TJ got some more action last week. How do you want to divvy up the rushing attack?
Well, a lot of what we do is RPO based, so sometimes you want it to the running back, but it doesn't allow it defensively. We just got to go out and make people pay. We had opportunities in the first half. We should have been up 17-3 at half, and we weren't. And we can't let people off the hook, because in this league, if you don't make people pay, it's hard to win consistently when you don't do that.
Well, it's a challenge again today. Same record, both teams 1-3, but I think both squads think they're more talented than that. What do you know about the Ichabods?
Well, they're going to play hard. Their head coach is a great head coach. He's been in this league for 20-plus years. I have a lot of respect for him. Their kids are going to be fired up. It's a homecoming game for us. We should have a great crowd. We're a little agitated. We need to come out here and get something going, and we haven't been very good in the third quarter. We have to be better there, and we just got to come out and play a complete game. I'd like to see what this looks like if we can get a complete game.
Well, thanks, Coach. Let's go get a win.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate you.
That's Ryan Held with the Lopers. We have starting lineups and kickoff coming up.
A new year, a fresh start, a resolution to grow more, gain more, give more. The process is the same: plant, grow, harvest. But the way you do it is always evolving. And so are we, Aurora Cooperative. Grow, gain, give. Aurora and you.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
Tom Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. 20 years of building lifelong relationships. 20 years of providing superior customer experiences. 20 years of supporting the community. For 20 years, we've been building trust and loyalty by treating every customer like family on every visit. We're proud to serve Grand Island and the surrounding areas. Thank you for 20 great years, and we look forward to many more. Help us celebrate 20 years of service. Stop in today.
Coming. Let's play.
It's homecoming at the University of Nebraska-Kearney. Good crowd on hand, and the Lopers hoping they can defend home field against the Washburn Ichabods. Let's check out your school spotlight, brought to you by Currency. Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com. There it is, UNK. Just over 6,000 students playing here at Cope Stadium, Foster Field. About 35,000 folks here in Kearney. We'll take a quick peek at starting lineups. There is the UNK offense. TJ Davis, he threw 3 picks last week, and that's uncharacteristic of the All-American senior, back-to-back Offensive Player of the Year in this conference. There's the defense. Tell Spees, number 92, in the middle. He is the man that they'll be leaning on. One player to note in terms of absences is David Lilly. He was the top tackler last week. The Wahoo Bishop Newman product is out today with a broken bone in his hand, and he'll be out for a few weeks. So Seth Holt back in the starting lineup for the Lopers. You see Sam Van Dyne at quarterback in that starting lineup sheet for Washburn. He is a true freshman out of Independence, Missouri. Here's the opening kickoff. This will be returnable for Bailey Torres from the 16-yard line. And Bailey gets the edge. Good starting field position here for UNK.
Good to see Bailey on the field, Michael. He's got a lot of speed. Of course, last year he got hurt. And it was a critical injury for the Lopers, so it's taken him a while to get back. But yeah, that was a good kick return, good place to start.
21-yard return for Torres, and you might remember back to watching last season, broke a leg, and really felt for him because Torres had taken over as the number one receiver on this team, and now he's been working his way back in. Jamal Joseph is the starting running back for the Lopers. Kevin Brown still out with injury. Here is the sixth-year senior Davis at quarterback, getting the snap and finding Joseph right away, but the sophomore can't haul it in. Started looking downfield.
Ball was a little bit behind him, but Jamal's got to haul that in. That was a good play call. Washburn had overloaded the trip side to the field here, and if Jamal catches that, he's got room to run and get some yardage.
And the center is Hunter Hayes. That was his first snap at center in his college career, and he's in his 6th season running the option. This is a triple option, and Reggie Anderson gets the toss. We saw Anderson last week being used in the backfield, this time coming over from wide receiver and brought down by Jaquez White.
Watching a little bit of practice film for the Lopers this week, I saw him running a little bit more option in practice, so hopefully they're trying to get TJ a little bit more comfortable with that type of a scheme.
Anderson had 5 carries for 8 yards a week ago. 3rd down and 4, trying to move the sticks on their opening possession. Davis taking it himself, plowing forward and coming up a few yards short. Defense didn't bite on that one-step fake, and it's 4th and short for the Lopes.
One of the issues all season so far has been UNK in 3rd and short situations. They just have not been able to convert first downs and keep that ball and those drives alive.
UNK 19 of 47 now on 3rd down this season. That equates to about 41%. Hunter Kraus on to punt. DJ Bell is the return man for Washburn. And Kraus dials that one up back inside the 10, and a spectacular tackle made by UNK. A 45-yard punt for Hunter Kraus, and the tackle made, or there's actually a loss of 3 there on the return. Tackle made by Jerome Houston Jr., the Bellevue West product.
Great job by Hunter getting that ball up in the air. I think the wind's going to play a little bit of a role today, and it was excellent coverage by Jerome.
It is hot and windy. We'll be talking about that throughout the game. The Ichabods are moving into the wind here, and they start with an empty set, now motioning Taylon Peters, that player we spotlighted in the pregame, into the backfield. The freshman quarterback throwing on 1st down as a flag flies, and he has DJ Bell out to the left for a completion of about 7 yards. Jabia Talong on the coverage.
I'm guessing we either have an offsides or somebody jumped up there just based on where the flag is.
Loper defense giving up about 23 points per game. Pretty good effort. So lining up in the neutral zone against Campbell Packabush, the redshirt freshman defensive lineman. And the Ichabods will accept that penalty, so it's 1st down and 5 instead of 2nd down and 3. Lopers defense led by Tim Schaffner, the defensive coordinator, employing his chaos tempo mantra. Van Dyne on play action, 2 pass plays to open up this game, and a completion to Tice Brown moves the chains for the Ichabods. They got out of trouble right away and are already up to the 26-yard line.
Good scheme. I think he caught the Lopers looking for the run, obviously, there, and it was a good play fake by the running back, and good job by the quarterback hitting his wide receiver.
6'3", 210 pounds. The dimensions for Sam Van Dyne out of Liberty, Missouri. 37 of 72. That's a 51% completion percentage. Now under center. We're looking for the end around, and that's DJ Bell. Bell finds the sideline, and there goes DJ Bell with a big burst down the left side to the 45-yard line before Zach Schlager pushed him out following a 20-yard gain.
That was an interesting little concept. They started to the right, pulled the fullback around and led on kind of a counter play there. Got the sideline. He got pretty good leverage on the defensive players because they thought the play was going to the right.
Connor Searcy was out there leading with the block, number 46 in white. We'll be talking about him today. Taylon Peters gets his first touch, falls forward for a couple yards. And number 46, Searcy, a junior out of Tonganoxie, Kansas. Listed as a fullback, kind of plays a tight end, H-back role, and he had a huge lead block on that play on the left side. Ryan Held said, outside of his own players, Searcy is his favorite player in the league.
He's a kid that does everything, and he's a hard-nosed kid. You love those kind of guys, you know, the kind of the fullback bodies that are going to play their
Bell reverses field, has the first down, and tracked down by Armani Webster. But Bell reversing course and finding good yardage to the right side.
Now, so far, UNK's pursuit has been excellent, but a couple of reverse and a little cutback run there has taken advantage of over pursuit by the Lopers.
For DJ Bell of Washburn, he came into this game with 1 carry for 5 yards. Already 2 this drive that have gone for good distance. Peters, the defense collapses on him.
Good play by Tim Brown, number 15 there. Defensive end from Florida.
Just a 1-yard gain. It's 2nd down and 9. Well, this defense swaps out lots of bodies, and Brown is a guy that's gotten a lot more playing time of late. 6'4", 265, a redshirt sophomore.
Very athletic. Hopefully he can make a difference in some of these plays.
Transfer out of Independence Community College in Kansas. A drive that started inside their own 5-yard line. Trying for a deep ball, and good coverage by Jabia Tillong, and he's fired up about it. Blanketing the target, Tice Brown, on the left side.
In the MIAA, they allow a lot of physical play in the secondary, and Jabia did a good job of getting his head turned around. If he wouldn't have turned his head around, that flag might have come out there, but he did a good job of turning around and knocking that thing down.
Well, the Lopers have given up some yards, but an opportunity to try to get off the field with the ball at their own 40. Only 3 down linemen for this 3rd down and 9 snap, and they're all standing up. 3 seconds to snap the ball for Van Dyne. And Washburn has to burn the timeout. Craig Schurig didn't have his unit set yet for 3rd and 9. No score yet, about 5 minutes into the game. We'll take a break. You're watching MIAA football on News Channel Nebraska.
Life is a wild ride. It's important to have a trusted partner along the way. Liberty First Credit Union exists to provide its members with affordable financial services. Whether it is a large purchase, a new car or home remodel, overcoming obstacles, or chasing your dreams, financing life is what we do best. Give us a call or visit libertyfirstcu.com.
It's hosting season, and Ashley has everything you need to get your home hosting ready for company with guest-approved essentials starting at just $17 per month or $999.99. Plus, we offer special financing options for every budget. And right now, you can save on accessories store-wide, from minor refreshes to total overhauls. Ashley has the items needed to make your home functional, fabulous, and friends and family ready. Experience the joy of home suite hosting with help from Ashley in Kearney, Grand Island, and North Platte.
3rd down and 9. The UNK defense hoping to force a fourth. The Ichabods with a 54-yard drive started inside their own 5-yard line. Out of the timeout, Sam Van Dyne, the freshman quarterback, brings Bell in motion. He's been active this possession. Van Dyne, the lefty to pass, lobs it to the right side. A little high. Did he come down with it? Yes. And that should move the chains for Washburn. Completed that to Tristan Johnson, a 6-foot, 190-pound freshman.
Wow, that was a high ball. It was a pretty good job by that wide receiver to keep his eyes on it and make that catch.
13-yard completion on 3rd down and 9. And now a timeout taken by UNK.
My guess is they might be wanting to challenge this.
Ah. And that is the case. They're going to review this play. I believe our first home review, right, Scott?
I believe so, yeah.
So this is the second season this has been implemented in the MIAA. They were the guinea pig conference a year ago, and from all accounts, it went really well.
Right.
And so now across Division II, they have access to this if they want it. So we'll see if they get a good look at it or not. They're using the cameras from on top of the stadium.
That could be a tough view, I don't think it's going to be easy to see that. And, of course, it has to be clear to overrule it, right? So they might just go along with this play stands.
Well, we did see a review on Tuesday in our broadcast of the Nebraska-Kearney volleyball match, and that was overturned. You think that most will likely stand because of the limited camera angles, but we have seen some be overturned. Definitely a juggle along the sideline for Tristan Johnson. But Nebraska-Kearney 3 and out to start things offensively, and we talk often about the defense needs to get off the field, but a lot of trouble that's been presented to the Nebraska-Kearney defense is because there's been no offensive flow.
Right, and you know that term complementary football is so critical. You have to get first downs and keep your defense on the sideline and allow, the defense has to get stops so the offense can get back on there, and that's really what it boils down to.
We'll see if we just have the view from our top camera and expect a similar look coming from what the officials can see. And you can't really see the sideline.
Yeah, really tough to tell whether he got his foot in and whether he was juggling the football and had possession or not.
Oh, we got a stoppage of play here in your first quarter, which is brought to you by John Henry's, their family, serving yours. The officiating crew has emerged from the tent. We'll await their ruling. As it stands right now, 1st down and 10 from the 27 of the Lopers. Not just that it stands, that it's confirmed. So the Lopers are charged with a timeout. It was a 13-yard catch for Tristan Johnson, and that's a huge play in the early part of this ball game.
Very much so. I mean, we had Washburn pinned down inside the 5-yard line, and so far they've had an excellent drive, 8 plays, and pretty good balance. So UNK's defense needs to rise to the occasion here a little bit.
Swing pass to Peters. The Loper defense is there. Excellent pursuit, knocking him down at the 30.
C.J. Keel, I believe.
Keel coming up to make the play for Nebraska-Kearney, the defensive back, sophomore out of Indianola, Iowa. 2nd down and 13. And again, no David Lilly, so guys like Keel are going to get more time today, him and Seth Holt. With Searcy in at fullback, they hand off and the Lopers blow it up. Coming around the outside, Jameer Jones, Jameer getting a lot more time today. We've seen him make a couple of plays. 6 foot, 215-pound redshirt junior out of North Carolina.
UNK brought some pressure right off that edge, and Washburn ran right into it. So that was a good call by Coach Schaffner. Big third down again here.
Loper fans waving their towels. Might be using that for some sweat today on this hot afternoon in late September. Van Dyne over the middle. Schlager makes the stop, and that's short of the line to gain on the completion to Weston Rump. And it's 4th down and medium, and the offense is staying out there. This is something we see often from Washburn, Scott. They've attempted 16 4th down conversions. They are 7 of 16. That's in 4 games. They go for it on average 4 times on 4th down per game.
That's a pretty impressive statistic. And to get half of them, hopefully UNK can get them stopped here. We need the ball back.
4th down and about 6. They're adjusting the play clock, or the play call with the play clock under 5. Bell motions with 1 second. They have to burn another timeout. The 3rd timeout of this drive, 2 for Washburn, 1 for UNK. 4th down and 6 when we return to Cope Stadium.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Something we've seen multiple times this season. Nebraska Kearney has had to burn timeouts early in the first half. Today it's Washburn. Scott, do you think this is a freshman quarterback situation, or what could contribute to burning 2 timeouts this drive?
It could very well be. You know, so many teams are signaling in their offensive plays nowadays that I think there's some communication issues, to be honest with you, that goes along with that. Kids don't see the signals or whatever the case may be, but it creates all kinds of chaos.
4th and 6. It's the 11th play of a drive that started at their own 6-yard line. Sam Van Dyne to pass, has some pressure, and it's caught near the marker. Long on the stop.
I believe he's short.
Bell with the catch, and he is a yard short. It was ruled a catch, but it was 1 yard short of the line to gain. Enormous play for that Loper defense. Jabia Talong, the senior from Aurora, Colorado, comes up with the big stop.
Yeah, it was good to see Jabia make that play there because, he was given a little bit of a cushion, but he closed really fast and made a good, solid tackle in open field, and that's so hard to do sometimes.
And that would be one, if you're Washburn, if you hadn't already used 2 timeouts, you might consider encouraging a review on the spot. That was really close.
Very much so.
Starting at their own 19, the Loper offense trying to get their first down of the game. Davis will run the option with Hosey. And TJ keeps the football. He gets lit up on the play by Josh Grant, a 170-pound redshirt freshman safety. 2nd and 7. So Demarius Hosey has entered the backfield. Senior running back, a transfer coming in out of Justin, Texas.
And so far has done pretty good the last couple of weeks that he's been in the game.
Thought we might see some more option, and we have to start this contest. Davis, good coverage there, trying to find Zorian Stanton. Just a little wide of the target there for Davis, and 3rd and long for the Lopers. Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com.
Another critical 3rd down here. Hopefully UNK can get that first down because we really need to get the defensive breather and, just keep the drive alive here.
Their All-American quarterback is seeing some pressure. Davis escapes, has lots of turf in front of him. Here's TJ Davis. Nearing midfield, breaking to the outside. The senior lowers his shoulder to the 40-yard line of Washburn.
That's what we've expected to see the last 2 years.
A 37-yard run on 3rd down and 7. And he had to have run about 60 to get those 37, running to the right, cutting back to the left. And now the Lopers using their tempo. Davis didn't have the play that he thought was coming and just takes it out of bounds. Mason Capper, the sophomore, chats with him for quite a while afterwards.
I don't know what number 30 had to say to TJ, but
maybe he was saying that he thinks he should have won the Harlan Hill last year.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I mean, be very careful with that young man. He's pretty talented.
Not the player I would trash talk.
No.
Second down and 10 after the rush for no gain. And 2 backs in the backfield. That's Trayvon Moore motioning over. Jamal Joseph, nowhere to go. Actually, Jerquan Connors, the wide receiver that got over before Braylon Alexander, a corner, came shooting in to cut down the Lopers for a loss of 4.
That was a good job by the defensive back for Washburn there, but you really need to have that perimeter block out there, especially when you're running option football. That's a key for the wide receivers. They've got to get the block.
As Severin Foster was the wide receiver on that side and didn't find anybody to block, and a free body comes in to force 3rd and 14. The Ichabod defense, this is their strength. 3rd down. They allow 3rd down conversions just 35% of the time. Here's Davis, and a short gain to Hosey, who gets near the original line of scrimmage for this series. Back to the 40, a gain of 4. Brent Peevler on the stop. And will we see Hunter Kraus emerge? Yes. So the Lopers will play field position after a drive that started at the 19-yard line, went 6 plays and 41 yards.
Yeah, it's good that UNK was able to flip the field there. Hopefully Hunter can place the ball inside the 10 and make Washburn be backed up again.
The Sargent, Nebraska native, gets the low snap, takes his time, and this is a new look from Hunter, and a look that's paying off. The ball's down at the 5-yard line. A 35-yard punt, and he didn't even need hang time that time.
He had pretty much 9 blue shirts down there. All he had to do was drop it in there. It was going to die. So I was kind of surprised that the 2 Washburn rushers just kind of stopped and watched him. But,
well, Jake Mandelko, the special teams coordinator for UNK, that's a luxury to have someone with all the experience that Hunter Kraus does. You can tell him, hey, we've seen this on film. Maybe they don't rush the punter too hard. Go ahead and take an extra couple of steps before you kick it.
Exactly. I mean, he just kind of stood there and waited for everybody to get down there and dropped it right in the bucket.
Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Zollner Ford Lincoln. If you're looking for a vehicle in southeast Nebraska, check them out in Beatrice. First drive started at the 6 for Washburn. This one starts at the 5. That's exactly what you want to see out of your special teams unit. Lopers defense will trot back out. And we saw Washburn go to the air, Scott, quite a bit there in that opening drive. They average more rushing yards per game than passing yards. The Lopers defense this season has been better against the pass than the rush.
Right. I think if I'm trying to put myself in the Washburn offense's mindset, I think they probably realize that UNK's playing the run pretty hard, and so they're going to try to play action and take some advantage of that.
And it worked, a solid drive, but it stalled out on a turnover on downs in the red zone. Now they start with a burst to the outside with Trenton, or make that Tiandre Carter. Carter, the back, second string back. He's brought down by Armani Webster. 7-yard pickup at 2nd and 3.
Good run by Webster there. He, UNK had things pretty well blocked up, and that showed some pretty good skill on his part.
Carter, his 23rd carry of the season, 154 yards per game, or actually on the year, averaging 7 yards per tote. Pass over the middle is incomplete. They were trying to get Ty Weber, the tight end, and it's 3rd down and 3. Good coverage for Nebraska Kearney. Devin Guja, the junior.
Guja has been a pretty good player coming off the bench all season so far for UNK.
Bell has been active pre-snap. He motions almost every snap. Pass to the left. Van Dyne has his man for a first down. Armani Webster makes the stop for UNK. Tice Brown with the reception for Washburn, the junior out of Topeka.
Caught UNK in kind of a soft coverage look at that time, and just a quick little hitch route by the wide receiver for a first down.
An 11-yard gain. That's the second third down conversion for the Ichabods here in the first quarter. Everybody on the right side in the patterns, and a first down and more. Losing his helmet after making the grab is Armani Tukes, a 5'9", 170-pound freshman from Fairburn, Georgia. C.J. Keel out there for the stop again, but a flag on a play which the helmet came off.
I'm thinking they might have called C.J. for a face mask there, but I'm not sure that's a great call, to be honest with you. I hate to second-guess the officials, but unless he just pulled that off of there, it looked like it just came off due to contact.
That was the call, was the 15-yard personal foul face mask. Here's another look at it. Yeah, that's tough to say. Got his hand up near the helmet, but did he actually yank the face mask?
Right.
Quick swing to the right side to Carter.
I think the rule is if you put your hand on the face mask at all, it's going to get called, so that's probably what happened.
Treo Gwynn, really good job coming up from the second level to make that stop and holding the Ichabods to just a gain of 2.
Washburn doing a nice job of mixing things up. Little quick passing game, run every once in a while.
Handoff, Carter. Carter gets a few yards, and third down and 4 coming up. Lopers bring some pass rushers out. Joko Willis enters. So does Tim Brown for third down and 5. Carter, not Peters, playing this whole possession at running back. On third and 4, Van Dyne pressured, rolls out. Willis shoves him out, and that's short of the first down marker. Cameron Dickey, or actually Delonte Dickey, excuse me, on the pursuit. That's a 2-yard gain, and it's 4th and 2. The Ichabods have gone for it once already, and they're keeping the offense out again.
It seems to be their mantra so far. They're just going to keep it out there and go for fourth down if they can.
This is their 18th fourth down conversion attempt of the season. We're just in game number 5. They're going I formation. Carter is the running back. They fake to him. Van Dyne's in trouble. He's hit and sacked. Another turnover on downs. It's Joko Willis, the Auburn transfer, screaming into the backfield for the play. So the Loper defense thwarts the Ichabods again on fourth down. And we'll take a breather here for media timeout. They'll place the football at the 47 of UNK. A loss of 7 on that sack. And there was another look at it. Joko Willis joined by Tim Brown back there making the play.
I think Washburn's offense got a little bit greedy there. I think they anticipated UNK playing a run. It's not a bad call. Looking to maybe dump off a little flood route. But good job by the Loper defense to shut that down.
That's the second sack for Joko Willis, his 4th tackle for loss. This is what Washburn does, but I think it also is showing that they aren't as concerned about the UNK offense as they have been in previous seasons.
I think that's well said, Michael. I mean, UNK's struggled, just being honest, they've struggled all year offensively to be consistent. And Washburn plays solid defense. I think they're saying, hey, we're going to make you beat us. And so far on the 2 series UNK's had, they've managed to move the ball a little bit, but not be very consistent. So hopefully they can put something together here.
still looking for the first points of this game, and a couple of teams that are only averaging about 20 per game. That's UNK's average, 21 per contest for Washburn. So no surprise to see it slow starting. These defenses certainly have been the better units among these teams through 4 games this season. Both squads 1-3 and couldn't be more hungry to get a victory here this afternoon on a hot September afternoon. Here's Davis keeping it on the option. TJ crosses midfield to the 48-yard line, a gain of 5.
Again, primarily UNK's run game has been option-based, which in my opinion is a good way to go because that's kind of what TJ's been known for the last 2 years. That was a good 5-yard gain. If you can keep doing that, you keep moving the sticks, and you eventually are going to put one in the end zone.
TJ now has about 55 carries this season. The next closest player is Jamal Joseph with 20. That tells you the quarterback run, critical part of this offense. On the option, Zane Schwong gets the carry, the Waverly, Nebraska native. Only able to shoot for about a yard to the 47. It's 3rd down and 5.
Just haven't been able to establish the thing up inside a little bit, and you really need to do that so that you can get on the perimeter with your run game.
Now another 3rd down for this Loper offense. Found the big play with Davis's legs last possession. We'll see what they dial up at the start of the second quarter. We're all tied up, no points yet. Here through 15 minutes of football, UNK against Washburn on News Channel Nebraska.
New Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Crew Cabs now with 0% APR financing and no monthly payments for 90 days. Find new roads at Central Nebraska's premier GM dealer, Midway Chevrolet Buick GMC in Kearney, or thinkmidway.com/GM.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com and by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports for more highlights, interviews, rankings, and our full schedule.
That's a look at the Nebraska-Kearney huddle here on News Channel Nebraska. Michael Shively, Scott Hoffman with you. We've been talking about that weather a little bit, and it does not feel like the last day of September. The temperature is 89 degrees here in Kearney, and the wind is blowing out of the south at about 20 miles an hour. This is what you're used to seeing in July, Scott.
Right. Well, just wait a while and it'll change in Nebraska, I guess, right? Isn't that the old standard? So,
I think so, and mentioned it when I was walking to the interview with Coach Ryan Held before the game, and like, oh, it's a hot one today, and he says, oh, I love it.
Well, he's from the South. Yeah.
Yes. And I think that's the thing with this coaching staff. They like the heat. There are a lot of guys that are from south of Nebraska.
Exactly.
I do question why they wear sweatshirts at every practice and for some of the games when it's 90 degrees, but maybe that is one of those things when you're from the south. Like to get their sweat on, whether it's Coach Schaffner or Moses Harper. Jesse Ornelas, they're all wearing the long sleeves. 3rd down and 4 for Nebraska-Kearney, who is 1 for 2 on 3rd down through 1 quarter of action. Davis is alone in the shotgun. Now motions Sean Johnson over. Quarterback draw, tripped up. And Davis is short. Terrific effort by the defensive lineman for Washburn, Isaac Keener. He's a senior out of Derby, Kansas, and if he didn't get some of the leg of Davis, TJ could have been running for a while.
Yeah, it looked like that was going to open up pretty good. That was a good call. It was just a great play by that defensive lineman by the Washburn.
So Washburn, they have been steady in going for it on 4th down. UNK now has their offense on the field. If they can get rolling, they only have 10 seconds on the play clock. 4th down and 2. Zane Schwong is in the backfield. Here goes Davis. TJ Davis cut down at the 1st down marker. He's at the 43 of Washburn. CJ Callahan made the hit for the Ichabods, but it was too late. Davis rushes up the middle for 2 yards to move the sticks.
Well, that's good to see that they were able to punch that across for the 1st down. That was a big play.
Before that fourth down snap, the Lopers were just 1 for 4 on fourth down this season. That keeps the drive alive. And after playing the field position game for the first quarter, Ryan Held and company, Colby Ellis, the offensive coordinator, saying, well, it's time that we try to get some points. Toss to Schwang, has Hunter Hayes, the center, pulling out in front of him. Schwang dives forward up to the 38-yard line.
A new little wrinkle for the Lopers there. TJ's under center, which is good to see, and a little toss play. That's some football that we haven't seen here at UNK for quite a while, to be honest with you. So it's good to see that.
Caden Spencer made the tackle. Junior out of Holcomb, Kansas, is safety. 2nd and 5. Schwang again, and the Waverly Viking picks up the first down to the 32 of Washburn. Isaac Keener with another stop for the Ichabods.
Zane Schwang's a young man that's not going to break a lot of plays, but he's going to keep the ball moving forward. He's got good vision, he makes good cuts, and he runs behind his pads very well.
Had a breakout performance a season ago in Joplin against Missouri Southern. Faded some, got banged up last year, and had just 5 carries entering today here this season, but being the featured back this possession. Davis rolling out at the last second, decides to unload. He was trying to find A.J. McPhee, but just really getting rid of it.
Yeah, I think TJ might have been smart there just to drop the ball off to Trey Moore. Trey could have turned upfield and got 5 or 6 yards, maybe breaking a tackle. Sometimes.
We played a couple of minutes here in the second quarter, brought to you by O Street Carpet. Steve Carper and the crew at O Street Carpet, happy to sponsor college sports. I'm just in favor of getting Trey Moore the ball in general. I don't know how you tackle that man. Schwang out of the backfield, picks up the first down.
Nice call.
Callahan pushes him out. They might only give him 9 there. Looks like Schwang was a yard short. That sets up 3rd down and 1. Quick, easy completion to the outside.
Coach Ellis is doing a nice job of mixing things up with this drive so far.
Davis without a running back on the field. So he's going to get the carry. Bounces outside, and Davis scoots for the first down into the red zone to the 18-yard line of Washburn, a pickup of 5.
Probably not a lot of mystery there in terms of who's going to carry the ball, but you know what? He's proven himself over the last couple of years that he's more than capable of getting you a first down in that kind of a situation.
Andrew Pujato made the stop, and a busy rushing afternoon for T.J. Davis. Already 8 carries for 56 yards. Now operating in the red zone. Fake the give to Schwang. Quick pass to the right side. It's caught by Reggie Anderson, but Anderson stacked up by a host of Ichabods, led by Brent Peevler. 2nd and 10.
Again, what that does, though, is he's moving the ball around to different people, and it makes it very difficult for the defense to try to defend one person. So that's okay. You only picked up 3 yards. That's okay.
The Lopers in the red zone for the 10th time this season. They've scored points in 8 out of their 9 trips. From the right hash, Davis sees some pressure, calmly steps away from it, unloads the short pass. Caden Spencer with the stop. The player that we don't have on the roster. Must have just got some eligibility. I heard Brandon Bennett's, the public address announcer, mention the name, but Tuni Fifita. That's why I wasn't going to try to copy what Brandon said. Tuni Fifita out of Foothill College in California. Got him online, not on paper yet. Short pickup means it's 3rd down and 7. Only 5 seconds on the play clock for the Lopers. they're going to have to use a timeout. And there it is. UNK calls its second timeout of the first half, trying to get the first points of the ball game with 9:41 remaining in the second quarter on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard. UNK driving into the wind. You can see that American flag blowing ahead of the 12th play of this drive. It's been a really balanced attack from Nebraska Kearney, but coming to a head here at the 15-yard line of Washburn for 3rd and 7.
You know, this has been probably one of UNK's best drives all year, though. They've moved the ball around to different people. TJ's been able to do some things with his legs. They've run some spread. They got TJ under center, ran a toss play. So this is a good drive. Hopefully they can finish it off with some points. But if they can continue to drive the football like this, it's gonna pay off.
They'll come out of the timeout with 3 wide receivers on the right side.
Third down, UNK.
Severin Foster is to the far right. He's a favorite target of Davis. On 3rd and 7, TJ to throw. Gets it over to Schwung, makes a man miss, bounces to the outside, still on his feet near the 10-yard line. Tracked down by Percy Mitchell. It will be 4th down and a 6-yard pickup, all of it after the catch.
Coach Ellis put the formation, it's what we call formation, into the boundary. He put the strength of the formation into the boundary and then dropped the ball off to Zane coming out of the backfield. That's pretty tough for the defense.
And out comes Gabe Hines, the 6-foot, 180-pound senior kicker. On 4th down, and they'll say it's actually 4th and 2 to try this 26-yard field goal. Out of the hold of Hunter Kraus, the play is blown dead.
I believe somebody might have jumped, and hopefully it's Washburn, because that'll put UNK 1st and goal.
Awaiting the signal on a critical first half penalty. Delay of game simulating the snap. That's often when the defense is clapping. And because of that penalty, it is 1st and goal, Nebraska Kearney.
Good job by the officials catching that.
That's exactly what everybody in the UNK coaching booth is saying right now.
Well, I spent enough time, 35 years, I chewed officials out quite a bit, so it's good to give them a compliment now and then, too.
So Gabe Hines brought back to the sideline, and out comes Davis and Schwung.
I'm coming this way, Scott.
The Lopers have been able to now run 12 plays. This will be their 13th. Managing 48 yards on this drive.
And when you're going into the wind, this is a great drive because you're burning time. You're not allowing Washburn to have the wind to their back, and so hopefully we can finish this drive off with a touchdown.
Craig Schurig and his assistant coaching staff furious at that penalty. They had to get a lengthy explanation from the referee crew, and now we're ready for football at 1st and goal from the 5. Wide snap. Davis keeps it. TJ to the middle, to the end zone. A 5-yard rushing touchdown for TJ Davis, and UNK is on the board first.
Well, that's the first time we've seen a poor snap all day, but it actually worked out. So good job by TJ just collecting that football and giving a good play fake to Zane.
Perfect read on that option. With the read defender going after the dive back, Davis kept it himself for his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. Now Hines is back out, this time for the point after. And he doinks it off of the left upright. So the Kearney High product is unable to make it 7-0. The Lopers' lead stands at 6 with 8:47 remaining in the first half on the Currency scoreboard.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back in the future.
We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes. The wedding bands will be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
A 13-play, 53-yard drive for Nebraska Kearney that takes 7 minutes and 23 seconds. TJ Davis caps it off with another rushing touchdown added to his illustrious career. And important to score first, that's what the Lopers just achieved.
Without a doubt. And, you know, even though the play only went 53 total yards, the fact that they took quite a bit of time off the clock is huge. It really allows the defense to regroup and you know, it just makes it hard for the opponents.
56 rushing yards for TJ Davis. He is closing in on 4,000 rushing yards for his career. He needs to get 67 today, so he's just 11 yards short of getting to 4,000 career rushing yards. Hoping he gets that soon. Here's DJ Bell wide open to the left side, makes one Loper defender miss before getting crunched down at the 32-yard line.
A little cutback return, you get the flow going one direction, and you try to bounce it back the other way, and it worked out pretty well for Washburn.
22-yard return for Bell. He has certainly been a focal point of this offense. They've handed it to him a couple times and also thrown him the football. The Loper defense has given up some yards, but they haven't allowed points yet. And if you're Tim Schaffner, bending and not breaking, well, that's just fine.
You bet. And, you know, the defense has played very well the last couple of weeks, so hopefully we can continue to do that.
Held Pitt State to just 3 points in the first half last Saturday. The Gorillas, top 5 team in the country. Handoff and a run to the outside for Bell. So now they're lining up Bell in the backfield, just trying every way to get him the football, which is definitely a new wrinkle for the Ichabods. Again, he had just 1 carry on the season. That was his 3rd of the day.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if Talon Peters might not be nicked up a little bit. He was in there the very first series, but I don't recall seeing him since.
Now they leaned on Tiandre Carter, and now Bell is in the backfield. See if we can spot Talon Peters on the sideline. Batted football, might not have been actually, got that out to Bell, and Bell weaves his way forward near a first down marker. He's 2 yards short to the 39-yard line before he's tackled by Jameer Jones.
Little flare screen by Washburn, had 3 blockers out in front of him. Just drop it off to your fast kid out in the perimeter and let him make a play.
Well, our question is answered here, Scott. We have Talon Peters back on the field for 3rd down and 2.
They must have heard me.
Closing in on number 7 all-time on the Washburn rushing list. That's the senior standing to the right of the freshman quarterback Van Dyne, who wants to throw on 3rd and 2. Sets his feet. Now dips past Zach Schlager for the first down, sliding to a stop at the 46 following a pickup of 7 yards.
That was pretty well defended by UNK. You hate to give up the first down on a rush like that, but I was a little bit surprised Washburn chose to throw.
Now 3 for 5 on 3rd down. It's been a weakness of that Loper defense.
Yeah, third down has been an issue for both the offense and the defense this year.
Peters remains in the backfield for 1st down and 10. They give it to him. Peters lowers his head, plows forward for a solid 1st down pickup. Seth Holt with the stop, losing his helmet on the play. Tice Brown will have to go to the sideline for the Ichabods. We'll be breaking this all down for you at halftime. That's thanks to our friends at Cunningham's Journal. You can find them on the bricks in downtown Kearney and also on the lake. Handoff, Peters. Looks like he's a couple yards short, just 3 yards for the senior. And big Steven Mattina gets up off of the ground after participating in that tackle.
Pretty good job by the defensive front for UNK there of plugging that hole and getting some stop.
Mattina with heritage from the American Samoa. He's listed on the roster from Lansing, Kansas, though. And 6'5", 360 pounds. The Lopers happy to get him out of the Jayhawk State. Peters rushes forward, gets a yard. We'll see another 4th down, 4th and 1. This time Zach Schlager, the 6th-year player from McCook with the stop. And no surprise, Scott, the offense is out for 4th down, their 3rd 4th down conversion attempt. And so far, the Nebraska Kearney defense has been perfect in getting stops. I formation with Peters as the back. Now 2 fullbacks in. They give to Peters, follows his blockers, and he's short. The Loper defense holds strong. For the 3rd time in the first half, they force a turnover on downs. Parker Wise, the redshirt freshman from Kearney, in on the stop.
That's a huge play by the UNK defense there. 3rd time now on 4th down that they've stopped Washburn.
And you gotta love the way that defensive line plays for UNK. Absolutely. Steven Mattina, he eats up 2 blockers. Then you get everybody else crashing in. Armani Webster, the corner, also in on the play. And that's exactly what you want to see on a 4th down and 1.
Without a doubt. Great play by the defense.
And frankly, it's what you want to see on 3rd and 1 also.
Exactly.
Or it was 3rd and 2.
Yep.
2 plays to get 2 yards. They run straight up the middle. That's the strength of Washburn, running the football. But this UNK defense doesn't allow him to move.
Excellent job. Good call by Coach Schaffner. Great plays by the kids up front. So, hopefully UNK can do something now with the offense, get another score on the board, continue to do what they did the last drive, and go in at half with a nice lead.
5 minutes and 1 second remaining here on your Aurora Cooperative scoreboard. Loper's offense will come out following a touchdown drive, a possession ago. Gabe Hines unable to convert on the point after try. That's why it's 6-zip. Well, we have some extra stops today. Want to make sure that folks related to homecoming get recognized. The parade was this morning. Have some Hall of Fame teams being enshrined, some Hall of Fame athletes being enshrined as well as part of this homecoming week. And Scott, as a former coach, I've heard some coaches say, oh, homecoming is no good because of all the distractions. But some love hosting all the former players and former graduates to town too.
I always tried to embrace it a little bit because, what it does, there are some distractions, obviously, but what it does is it builds your culture within your institution. And embracing those former athletes coming back, regardless of what sport they are, it means a lot to them, and it also means a lot to your kids.
Tamikis Napier and Reggie Anderson in the backfield. Would have had to look pretty far on the roster to find those names at running back at the start of the season. Davis on the speed option keeps it, and he gets near the 1st down marker. He's tracked down by Washburn, but not before a 9-yard pickup. And that's a veteran player making the read.
Number 30, who was doing a little bit of talking earlier, missed him on that play. So
Mason Capper.
Ooh, that could have been maybe a horse collar, looked like.
See, going for that 1-yard pickup, Napier did not get it, so 3rd and short. See that play again. Napier just didn't have a hole, and the Ichabods race around the edge to get him. 3rd down and 1. Napier again. This time he has a big gash. Oh, just tripped up. He saw daylight in front of him. Tamikis Napier could have been running for a while.
He might have scored on that. That was a pretty good little cutback on the inside zone and made a lot happen. That's a good first down play.
Campbell Haverkamp, the defensive back, a sophomore from Corning, Kansas, with back-to-back stops against Napier, but not after he managed the first down there. Davis unloads to Napier, who drops. That's a couple of drops for the UNK backs on swing passes.
Right. And obviously, I think Coach Ellis and Coach Held have seen something that Washburn does, because that's the second time now in the last couple series where they've leaked the back out. And if we make the catch, he's probably going to run for maybe not a first down, but definitely a good play.
Had a solid swing pass out to Schwung. Made a couple of guys miss, but Joseph and Napier both with drops. Hosey into the backfield. Davis going to keep on the draw, and that's collapsed. Tackle made by Jordan Finnessy. Check that, Caden Spencer, junior from Holcomb, Kansas. Loss of 2, it's 3rd and 12.
Yeah, now you need to make something happen here, at least get half of it.
Davis steps up in the pocket, throws, looking for more, and it's broken up. Hayden Clark.
Penalty flag down, Michael.
That's Julius Jackson on the coverage, but Trey Moore might have been interfered with. A flag on the far side of the field.
TJ might have been able to pull that down and get a first down. He had some room in front of him.
He saw Trey Moore flashing open and wanted to try to get it to his 6'4", 230-pound tight end.
It's against UNK. I'm not sure what the signal was.
4th and 12, pending what happens with this penalty.
Offensive interference.
So it's Severin Foster who's called for offensive pass interference. He was not the intended target, but because of that penalty, the football is marched back to the 45. 3rd down, and they need to get to the 28 of Washburn to convert. That's 3rd down and 27.
That's a tough call. You don't see that too often. So I would expect either a draw play or maybe a screen play by UNK just to try to get some decent yardage so you could punt the ball.
TJ to pass. Gets off the quick pass to Reggie Anderson. Anderson finds some space and helps out with the field position out to the 44-yard line. Peevler on the stop. That was about 11 yards to Anderson, helping give Kraus a chance to pin the Ichabods deep.
It's unfortunate that they, just had a couple of plays there that put them behind the sticks and then a big penalty. But now hopefully you can, if you're Hunter Cross, you can drop the ball inside the 10 again and make Washburn go the long ways again.
Winding that clock down, under 2.5 to play in this first half. The Ichabods have just one timeout. Snap goes back with 1 second on the play clock. A wobbler from Kraus takes a UNK hop inside the 10 and rolls out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Another terrific punt for Hunter Kraus. This one traveling 38 yards and his best half of football yet this season.
Yeah, Hunter's really a weapon for UNK, and he hasn't really had the greatest first 4 games, but he's done a great job so far today. I think that's 3 punts inside the 10-yard line.
6-0 the score with 2:11 remaining on the Currency scoreboard here in the first half.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Another homecoming recognition here on field. I'm talking about ROTC right now. Lots of former ROTC members in attendance for homecoming. How about this for starting field position, Scott? A Washburn 4 drives. They've started at the 6, the 5, the 31, and now they're starting again at the 6.
That's an excellent job by the special teams of UNK, Hunter Cross especially with his punts. And, so far the defense has risen to the occasion, kind of stopped them. Hopefully we can get a stop and either go into half with a 6-0 lead or maybe punch another one in.
Well, we talked earlier about playing complementary football with the offense helping out the defense, and that has been proven today with field position.
And the third leg of the stool, if you want to use a cliche, is special teams, and so far they've played well as part of the whole equation here.
2 minutes and 11 seconds for Washburn to work with. Their freshman signal caller, Van Dyne, passes on first down, and that was tipped. It's incomplete. Zach Schlager takes it back into the blue painted area, but it's not going to count. Tell Spees, man, he's been everywhere this season.
He has. He's had a great year. He's taken on kind of a leadership role as a sixth-year senior and has really played excellent football for UNK.
So second down and 10. Delayed handoff, and screaming in to make the stop is Zach Schlager. Holy smokes, heat-sinking missile right there.
Good job. That's good to see Zach in there too, because he's dealt with quite a few injuries over his career. Now this is a big third down.
Couple yards is all there for Tiandre Carter, the sophomore running back. Third down and 8. Van Dyne stands strong in the pocket, throws down the right seam, and too tall. He had Bell going along the hash marks, but misfired, and because of the incompletion, Washburn will be punting out of their own end zone with plenty of time for this UNK offense.
Without a doubt, and UNK has shown throughout the season, if they go into a 2-minute drill, they've been pretty good at moving the football and getting points out of it. So hopefully we get some good field position here and make something happen.
Zane Schwang is deep after the Nebraska Kearney defense forces its first 3 and out of the game. Haven't allowed points, but that's the first 3 and out. Line drive kick, Schwang thinking about playing it off with a bounce, and it hops over his head. The Ichabods get a break from the turf, and that football rolls all the way to the 12 to the 11-yard line, an 81-yard punt.
Yeah, that's a tough break. I don't think Zane could have fielded that. He was trying to field it on the hop, and he took a hop. Or took a big bounce right over his head. Had he been able to feel that, I think he'd have had some positive yardage running the ball.
Well, for Jake Zeller, that is his longest punt of the season, but not by much.
Guess.
He had a 71-yarder earlier this year.
Goodness.
81-yard punts. And we do want to welcome in our viewers that were watching the Doane University football game. Thank you for joining us right now at Cope Stadium, Foster Field, on the campus of the University of Nebraska at Kearney. TJ Davis has a rushing touchdown, but a missed extra point makes it just 6-0. And after an 81-yard punt, the Lopers, who thought they would have good field position to start this drive, in fact, might just run out the clock.
Yeah, I would think right now that that's probably the focus.
So that's against James Kent, the offensive tackle. False start.
That's just been kind of a bugaboo all year for UNK. They managed to get themselves set up for some good stuff, and then they'll make a mental error, and we just can't do that.
Davis gives to Jamal Joseph. He gets his first carry since the first drive of the game. Manages just a couple yards before Andrew Pujato makes the stop. Second down and 13.
So now it'll be interesting to see what Washburn does here, because if UNK doesn't get much yardage on this next play, they might burn that time out and get the ball with decent field position with a little bit of time left in the first half.
That forced Kraus to punt into a 20-mile-an-hour wind, which definitely aided that 81-yard punt, but the high hop did most of the damage. And UNK going to run that clock all the way to 1 second and take a timeout. So Ryan Held running as much time as possible off of the clock.
That's a good decision by Coach Held there.
We'll take a short break with 32 seconds left in the first half on your Aurora Cooperative scoreboard.
What does farming mean to you? For most, it's hard work, dedication, and livelihood. Unfortunately, that also comes with risk. At Nebraska Crop Insurance in Beatrice, they know the non-stop dedication involved to keep your family protected from that risk and ensure their livelihood. Not only do they know everything about the coverage you need, they're also farmers themselves. So protect what means the most to you with the agent who knows what it means to be a farmer. Nebraska Crop Insurance, 615 Dorsey Street in Beatrice.
Drive over winter in a new Jeep 4x4 from Midway Chrysler in Kearney. Lease a new Jeep Compass Latitude 4x4, only $331 a month, during Jeep Adventure Days at Midway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Kearney. Or you can shop online now at thinkmidway.com/CDJR.
Final 32 seconds of half number one about to play out at Foster Field. I'm Michael Shifley. Scott Hoffman with me. TJ Davis, the senior quarterback, reigning Conference Offensive Player of the Year for the past 2 seasons, gives off to Schwung, and Zane Schwung gets a yard to the 10. It will be 3rd down and 12, but that snap will come after this Washburn timeout. So the Ichabods will force UNK to run another play. It's 3rd down, so they can run once and let the clock expire.
Exactly. I'm not 100% sure the reasoning behind that. You never want to save your timeouts, obviously, but I mean, when you look at the equation, all UNK has to run the ball is run the football, and the clock will stop, or won't stop. It's going to run out for the half. So unless you're trying to go in and try to force a turnover or something, but yeah, doesn't make a lot of sense. But hey, I'm no longer coaching, so there you go.
So UNK in action against Washburn right now. Northwest Missouri and Central Missouri got going at 1 o'clock. Other MIAA matchups in progress right now. Missouri Southern at Central Oklahoma. Northeastern State hosting Pittsburgh State. In about 45 minutes, Missouri Western and Emporia State will kick off. And then a night matchup in Hays, Kansas, with Fort Hays State hosting Lincoln. We'll update you with some scores at halftime. Also coming up at halftime, we have our special game day feature. Today's subject is our key player, Hunter Hayes, number 57, gripping the football right now in the middle of that offensive line. The McCook native snaps it back to Davis, gives to Schwung, and Schwung goes forward for about 3. That should take us to the break, and it will. Players still hanging out on the field, but the clock will not stop. They're going to walk off to the sideline. Well, we mentioned it. We'll have that game day feature. We'll learn some about Hunter Hayes, who started his football career at Fort Hays State, transferred here to UNK, now in his 5th season here in Kearney, a preseason All-American who has been asked to do something he hadn't been asked to do in his football career. We'll share that with you coming up at the break, plus look at your halftime highlights, a check of the statistics, and the MIAA scoreboard. The Lopers up 6 on the Currency scoreboard.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
Anything for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more. From little feet to little paws, to updates and overhauls. From soft and cozy to durable and resilient. From something that blends in or something that's different. From DIY to custom install, O Street Carpet can help you with it all. Whatever your needs are for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more.
Our halftime show brought to you by Cunningham's Journal on the Bricks on 23rd Street in downtown Kearney.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
From the moment something didn't feel quite right, to that ambulance arriving at your door, from the immediate diagnosis, to the surgery that followed, to the long list of lifestyle changes, and that family gathering that everyone always talked about, but for whatever reason kept getting postponed, to the moment you sat back and realized how grateful you are for everything you have. We've been here for you, just around the corner. Columbus Community Hospital.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
As a returning All-American, observers might not expect Hunter Hayes to have experienced a learning curve heading into his 6th season of college football. But the McCook native has become a student of offensive line play.
What I've learned this year has been more than I've ever learned in my whole career, all jumbled into one year. But everybody's starting to get used to it.
The new material is a side effect of a new offense at UNK and a young position group.
We've seen a lot more blitzes than we have in the past because we've passed the ball more. So that's just been something to get used to, but we have a lot of different protection calls and tools that we can use to manipulate those blitzes.
But make no mistake, Hayes is eager to absorb football knowledge. He was exposed to the game early by his dad, Brad, who played wide receiver at Nebraska. While Hayes isn't about to start running post routes, he has moved around from his traditional position of left guard to take snaps at tackle. The adjustments are part of Coach Nate Baker's plan to get the best 5 linemen on the field.
Hey, we might need you at tackle, and he was like, whatever you need, coach. And so I was grateful for that, for him just reverting to his fundamentals. And then we could go back to the film and say, why was Hunter good this week? Well, because he reverted to his fundamentals.
The next step in the O-line evolution for Hayes, getting in at center for the first time in a college football game.
The way it's kind of working out, they're just kind of putting me in spots where it's going to make the whole O-line better as a whole. So that's really what I care about the most.
Baker says Hayes' newfound versatility could pay off for a player who has aspirations of playing professionally.
You want to do that, we have to play you in multiple positions, and he bought into that. And we've been kind of working it throughout, week by week, giving a little bit more here and there. It was something that I've been wanting to do so we can get it on tape for him, and so he has that chance.
Hayes' primary goal is for the Lopers to win out. Then he'll see if pro scouts come calling. He knows he's moving into the future with the support of his family, teammates, and coaches.
That's really what makes it special for me is the guys really believe in me, and they say I deserve it, so I just want to keep working and prove everybody that I can.
In Kearney, Michael Shively, News Channel, Nebraska.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USafe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
Champions are crowned each year in Lincoln. All of us at Visit Lincoln welcome the athletes, families, and fans from across Nebraska to our community. When the final whistle blows and the game ends, make sure to discover how Lincoln can make your stay even more memorable. Stop by the Visitor Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit us on the web at lincoln.org. Visit Lincoln is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
Get 0.9% APR financing on new Sierra 1500s and make no monthly payments for 90 days. We are professional grade at Central Nebraska's premier GM dealer, Midway Chevrolet Buick GMC in Kearney, or thinkmidway.com/GM.
Our halftime show brought to you by Cunningham's Journal on the Bricks on 23rd Street in downtown Kearney.
Whether we're talking commercial or residential plumbing, Lamel Plumbing is the place you call. Lamel provides 24-hour emergency service as well. Call them if you get in a tight spot. And as for their retail items, well, you got to check out some of their faucets, some of their kitchen items, and some of their bathroom items like their Onyx showers. And hey, say you've got a digging job, you call Lamel Plumbing for that too. They've added a full-time crew for you, doing backhoe, trenching, and sewer work. Take that digging job off your list and have Lamel do it for you. That's Lamel Plumbing in Beatrice, now at their new location on North 7th Street in Beatrice.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Welcome back to Foster Field, Cope Stadium, here on the campus of the University of Nebraska at Kearney. I'm Michael Shifley, Scott Hoffman with me. It's halftime with the score, UNK 6, Washburn nothing. Extra long halftime here because it is homecoming, so we'll talk a little bit about the homecoming royalty coming up soon, some Hall of Famers being inducted, and we'll get to that as we move through halftime. But first, let's take a look at your halftime highlights. Those are brought to you by Cunningham's Journal on the Bricks on 23rd Street in downtown Kearney. And starting out is a fourth down stop for the UNK defense, something they did 3 times in the first half. Here's TJ Davis doing what he does best, creating with his legs. After evading the rush, gets to the outside, cuts back to the left, and a 38-yard gain on 3rd down and 7. Now on 4th down, going for it again. The Ichabods are sacked. Joko Willis and Tim Brown getting in there for the Lopers, forcing a turnover on downs. Now after a poor snap, Davis keeps it on the read option, and the senior quarterback dives forward into the end zone for 6 points. But just 6 because the point after try went off of the pylon. Another 4th down attempt and another UNK defensive stop. Again, Tim Brown in there, Stephen Mattina, Parker Wise. They're all part of that stop that forced the turnover on downs. Well, Scott, that's, I think, the biggest thing to take away from that first half was the Loper defense held strong on 3rd and short and 4th and short.
They really did. Other than really the first drive that Washburn put together where they were backed up and drove it down into the UNK territory and went for it on 4th down, and we stopped them. But UNK's defense has played well, and hopefully they can continue to do that. They've had to rise to the occasion. That last series, Washburn was 3rd down and 2, and got 1 yard, and then went for it on 4th and 1 and didn't get anything. So great job by the front 7 of the UNK defensive front.
Looking at the punting stats, what we normally do at halftime, 3 punts for 119 yards for Hunter Kraus, averaging 40 yards a punt. All three of his punts have pinned Washburn inside the 20. The 1 punt for Jake Zeller. Honestly, we should have led with that in our highlight reel. Jake Zeller, an 81-yard punt he unleashed on that football, aided by the wind and some bounces. Well, those were your halftime highlights. We showed you our Hunter Hayes feature. We'll take a break right now, come back with some homecoming notes, and prepare for quarter number 3. You're watching college football here on News Channel Nebraska.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
New Ram trucks available now at Midway Chrysler in Kearney. Take over $10,000 total savings off new Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4s. It's Ram Power Days at Midway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Kearney or thinkmidway.com/CDJR.
UNK is a place where quality education meets hands-on learning, and going the extra mile gets rewarded. It's a place where you can put yourself out there, reach your goals, and set new ones you never thought possible. Be yourself, but develop the best version of you. Let us show you what you're made of. Be blue, be gold, be bold. Apply now to the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Learn more at unk.edu.
My dad's addiction and death from overdosing on opioids has taught me it's likely that everybody knows somebody who is struggling with this very problem. Losing my mentor, my best friend, he took one pill too many that ultimately killed him.
At JSP, we show up every day with one goal in mind: taking care of the great people of the communities we serve. For the last 15 years, keeping people comfortable in the Hudson Valley has been our main priority. Our award-winning customer service and customized solutions make calling JSP a simple choice. Our trained professionals can solve almost any issue in your home or business and make you another satisfied customer. Call JSP today.
A partner in your everyday since 1975. Woodhouse.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Tom Dinsdale Auto. Celebrating 20 years, Tom Dinsdale Auto is proud to be community-driven. And by News Channel Nebraska. Check us out on Twitter at NCN Sports.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
A 6-0 lead for Nebraska Kearney at halftime. The advantage over the Ichabods of Washburn. Well, we mentioned it's homecoming. You see on your screen right now the homecoming candidates being walked out. They've already announced the king and queen. That happened Thursday night at the annual lip sync competition at the Health and Sports Center. Ethan Chacho of Fullerton is the homecoming king. Emma Bond of Kearney is the homecoming queen. Some background on these outstanding UNK students. Chacho is a senior in the pre-radiologic technology program. He serves as student body vice president and as a chancellor's ambassador. Was a new student enrollment leader, former Loper Programming and Activities Council executive member, honor student advisory board, and also in some intramurals. Bond is a junior studying business administration with a marketing emphasis and a minor in multimedia. We could use her. She's active with a variety of campus organizations. She's chair of the UNK Student Government Facility Sustainability and Campus Development Committee. Marketing co-chair for the Honor Student Advisory Board. Homecoming co-chair for the LPAC. Also a regular on the UNK climbing wall. So those are your homecoming king and queen for Nebraska Kearney. A couple of athletes going into the Hall of Fame, and also a non-athlete. Standing out there on the field right now is Buck Mahoney, the sports director of the Kearney Hub. And Scott, fun to see him getting recognized for decades. of work covering the Lopers.
Yeah, Buck is a legend, and he has been an integral part of coverage for UNK for years and years, and it's great to see him get some recognition.
Some of the other Hall of Fame inductees include Mike Miller, a running back from the UNK football team who played from 2001 to 2004. He is first all-time in Loper career rushing yards, 4,818. So to give some comparison, T.J. Davis on his final rush of the first half eclipsed 4,000 rushing yards on his career, and he is a sixth-year senior. Mike Miller did it the old-fashioned way, 01 to 04, and he's one of the all-time great UNK football players.
Without a doubt, and when Coach Morris was the head football coach here, they gave the ball to Mike a lot, and he earned every yard he got. He wasn't a great flashy runner, but he sure was solid.
Also going into the Hall of Fame, former women's basketball star Heather Steffen. I learned from listening to her visit on the Doug and Daddy show on ESPN Tri-Cities that she didn't lose a home game in her 4 years with the UNK women's basketball team. That means there was quite a bit of success.
Yeah, Amy Stevens and Carol, name escapes me right now, but they both did a wonderful job with the women's basketball program, and they had some great players, and this became a really tough place to win if you were on the road.
The Health and Sports Center was a place of victories for UNK at the time. So congratulations to all of the homecoming candidates, the King and Queen, and the Hall of Fame inductees for Nebraska Kearney. They're about to do the ceremony here at halftime. Mark Bauer is at midfield, standing on the Loper, the activities director here at UNK. We'll take a break. We have a look at your MIAA scoreboard, and we'll prepare you for the start of the third quarter when we return to Cope Stadium.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Driving by on the highway, you'd never guess what this store holds. When you walk in, rest assured this small-town vet supply store has big city selection. There's a good chance if what you're looking for isn't in the back, they can order it for you. Luckily, you'll get the small-town friendly service and knowledgeable sales staff every step of the way. From vaccine help to renting a tux for your son's wedding. See the staff at Valley Vet Supply on Highway 36 in Marysville.
Valley Vet Supply.
UNK is a place where quality education meets hands-on learning, and going the extra mile gets rewarded. It's a place where you can put yourself out there, reach your goals, and set new ones you never thought possible. Be yourself, but develop the best version of you. Let us show you what you're made of. Be blue, be gold, be bold. Apply now to the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Learn more at unk.edu.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, lawn and garden tractor, or gator, every piece of equipment in our inventory is ready to work hard for your operation. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or learn more at landmarkimp.com to experience the Landmark difference.
Some jobs are hard work, long hours, busy days, late nights. But there's something in us that keeps us going when we know what we're doing is making a difference in someone's life. Because it's the hardest jobs that are the most important, and that pride you feel makes it more than worth the effort. NPPD, powering our state, empowering your life.
Tom Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. 20 years of building lifelong relationships. 20 years of providing superior customer experiences. 20 years of supporting the community. For 20 years, we've been building trust and loyalty by treating every customer like family on every visit. We're proud to serve Grand Island and the surrounding areas. Thank you for 20 great years, and we look forward to many more. Help us celebrate 20 years of service. Stop in today.
That is literally the funniest thing ever.
And then I said,
It wasn't. But this guy could use a win. Even if it's not as big of a win as I get with free Kasasa Cash checking. Kasasa Cash pays me a really high rate and refunds ATM withdrawal fees nationwide. So I feel like a queen. Has a mega bank ever made you feel that way? Or is it more like this guy? Take back banking with Kasasa Cash.
Get Kasasa checking at Liberty First Credit Union.
At Nebraska Orthopedic Center, they provide comprehensive orthopedic health care. Their physicians are highly skilled in all areas of orthopedic and sports medicine, including spine surgery, foot and ankle, hand and upper extremities, fracture care, and total joint replacement. Their expertise includes the medical management of injuries through physical and rehabilitative methods or surgical intervention. To schedule an appointment or to learn more about Nebraska Orthopedic Center and their family of 25 physicians, go online to nebraskaortho.com. That's nebraskaortho.com. Nebraska Orthopedic Center is your healing destination.
The Hall of Famers getting a photo on midfield right now. Homecoming day here at Nebraska Kearney. Really fine crowd. And folks milling about right now, maybe getting in the shade because it's 90 degrees. And that 20-mile-an-hour breeze is certainly a factor as well. I'm Michael Shifley. Scott Hoffman's with me. You see that 6-0 score, UNK in front of Washburn as we near the start of half number 2. There are other games in action right now in the MIAA. Here's what they look like. This game at halftime, and it's 14-0 Pitt State over Northeastern State. That Riverhawks group is better than they've been in the past, only being down 2 touchdowns against a top 5 team in the country.
You know, they really are improved, but, you know, Pitt, they have shown that they're a second-half team, right. So they might come back. But, you know, hats off to Northeast. They've really improved the program. Coach, sorry, I can't think of his name.
I've drawn a blank as well,
yeah,
unfortunately.
But he's done a great job.
Another score at halftime. The Missouri Southern Lions, winners over UNK in their most recent trip here to Kearney. They lead 17-10 at half over Central Oklahoma. That game in Edmond, Oklahoma. So UCO at 1-3, that lone win against the Lopers, and that's going to be one that they're going to be thinking about for a while, this UNK staff, about a game they got away.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, had they come out and played like they did in the second half, the whole game, I think they would have won by a couple of scores probably.
Instead, it was the first defeat of the Ryan Held era. It was a road game in week number 1, and the Broncos have not won a game since and trail right now. Central Missouri, a top 25 group under former UNK head coach Josh Lamberson. They have the 7-point lead, 24-17 over Northwest Missouri State with 6.5 left in the third quarter. Now that would be a signature victory for the Mules.
Definitely. Josh Lamberson, of course, former UNK coach, but was an All-American quarterback for Northwest Missouri. Played in a national championship game for him, so I'm sure he's looking for a big win there. And if he can get that, all of a sudden Northwest Missouri has 3 losses, which is very unusual.
Yeah, I'd like to know the last time they had 3 losses and the last time they've had a losing record at any point in a season. They would be 2-3 with a defeat today. Long
time ago.
And that's a final week of the season game for UNK on the road at Marysville. You'd think, oh, that's going to be a tough one to win, but if you can get rolling, starting with a victory today, get some momentum, what a way to send off a senior group would be a road victory at Northwest Missouri State.
Without a doubt. Plus, an interesting concept is going to be how, if Northwest has a losing season, how are their young players going to handle that? Because that hasn't happened there for a very, very long time.
But I might be getting ahead of myself there because right. There's 30 minutes of football still to play in this game. And it's just a 1-possession affair, 6-0 on the strength of a T.J. Davis rushing touchdown. Michael Shively, Scott Hoffman with you. Danny Alvarado leading our crew. Scott Miller in the booth with us as well this afternoon. Gabe Hines kicks off. DJ Bell will take that one in the end zone and take it out, tossing it to his teammate who finds a seam, breaking a tackle. It's Carter. Carter across the 30-yard line, finally upended by Gabe Hines. The kicker came in to make that stop.
That's probably a good thing. That looked like it was going to go. I was so surprised that their return guy came out of the end zone with that.
I thought there was no chance.
And then, of course, they ran a little reverse, and they caught UNK not really looking for that. So good coaching by the Washburn staff.
So out to the 32-yard line on the reverse toss. DeAndre Carter sets things up. Taylon Peters in at running back and now split out wide. The true freshman quarterback had a nice effort there in the first half. 9 of 13 passing for Sam Van Dyne, but he's drilled in the backfield now. It's Tell Spees, and there's his sack dance, jiggling the belly. The Mullen, Nebraska native comes through with another big defensive play for a loss of 5. Second sack of the season for Tell. He's nearing 5 tackles for loss.
Parker Wise got in there as well. They put a lot of pressure right up the middle, and it paid off for the Lopers. That was a big sack.
I love that celebration, too. That's Searcy, the H-back in motion. On play action, the quarterback keeps, slides down, and they mark him just up to the 28-yard line is all, so only 3 yards on the rush by the quarterback. C.J. Keel makes the stop for the Loper defense, and UNK, used to facing 3rd and short or 3rd and medium in this game, has them pinned back 3rd and 14.
Hopefully you can just keep them in front of the stakes and get the ball back with good field position here.
Van Dyne sends Tooks in motion to the left. Now sits in the pocket. Checks down to Peters. Leaking out of the backfield, and the Lopers are there. Making the shoelace tackle for UNK is Parker Wise again. The redshirt freshman has been busy and holds the Ichabods to 5 yards. So the opening drive of the third quarter for the Ichabods means the punt unit comes out. Your third quarter is presented by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of pain, not just the symptoms. Zeller now punting into the wind instead of with it at his back. Gets off a high kick. Zane Schwong in traffic makes the fair catch with ease at the 31-yard line. A 35-yard punt by Washburn. Here comes the Loper offense and set up in a good spot with the 6-point lead still intact.
Excellent job by the UNK defense to get the Ichabod shut off and give the UNK offense a chance to add to their lead here.
The third quarter has been a struggle for UNK this season. Just 14 total points scored in 4 games in the third quarter, and this is where it got away from them. Had the lead at half at the end of the third quarter. They no longer did against Pitt last week. They're trying to make a statement in the third quarter this week.
I know Coach Held has put an emphasis on that.
Davis in trouble, somehow applies a stiff arm and a juke, but eventually corralled by Caden Spencer. The junior safety gets the sack, and the Lopers go backwards on the first play. They fall back 7 yards on first down.
Yeah, and that's not what you want to see if you're trying to establish something in the third quarter, to lose 7 yards on the very first play.
Davis unable to get rid of that football, just kept trying to extend that play. Now he's under 4,000 rushing yards for the career.
Right. A good job by Washburn's defense, though, to kind of pin TJ in there.
On 2nd and 17, play action for Davis. Steps up in the pocket as a flag flies. Moore with the catch for a first down at midfield. Drops the football, and Washburn is on it.
Field judge is saying that he was down, but there's a penalty flag back there. I'm sure it's a hold.
Mason Capper made the hit on the junior tight end. So, I mean, more importantly, though, that holding could be declined if that was a fumble.
Right. I did see the field judge.
Yeah, so it is a fumble. So Trey Moore coughs it up, and it's a turnover on the Lopers.
That's just what we were talking about. Third quarter's been really tough for UNK, and you just do a great job with the defense, and 2 plays you turn the ball over back to Washburn. So now the defense has to rise to the occasion again.
That's the second lost fumble for UNK this season. They've turned it over 7 times and have forced only 3 turnovers. -4 in the turnover margin. Big reason why the club stands at 1-3. Leading on the defense again, Peters breaks 1 tackle and runs into Armani Webster, who stands him up at the 46-yard line after a gain of about 6 yards. And that's exactly what the offense you were hoping that wouldn't happen.
Exactly.
You get the negative play on first down, and then the big completion, which would have been negated, but
right,
can't hold on to the football.
Nope. You have to take care of the football and go back to that complementary football like you were playing in the first half.
And you hear coaches talk, and you've heard Ryan Held say sometimes his guys they're trying so hard out there because they have so much desire to get a win. They do too much on occasion. And that time, too much resulted in a giveaway.
Another third down situation here for UNK. I would fully expect where the ball's at for Washburn to go for it on 4th if they don't make something happen here on 3rd.
That's accurate. That would be the 4th time this game that the Ichabods have gone for 4th down. But first, the 3rd down play. Van Dyne with time, throws complete, and that will move the sticks. And a late penalty flag comes out. A Loper's helmet is off. That's Jack Nicolaisen out of Omaha. Armani Webster made the tackle defensively after the first down pickup for the Ichabods. Referee's going to sort this one out. Likely to be a personal foul. It's Jacob Glendinning, 320-pound senior out of Topeka. Illegal hands to the face. So it's 3rd down, or rather, they get the first down. At least that's what the marker says right now, and the football's moved back to the 39.
The official said replay 3rd down,
okay.
So I think there was a mistake there. But
now it does say 3rd down. It is 3rd and 20. Now that is one of the biggest penalties of this ball game.
Without a doubt, because now you put Washburn in a situation where they probably aren't going to go for it on 4th down unless they get some pretty positive yardage.
Van Dyne to the right side. It's caught, but is it inbounds? Armani Webster says no, but the official says yes. Runs that clock. It was Tristan Johnson with another grab today, and Webster gave him a crack, and we can't see from this angle too well if he's inbounds or not. And that moves the chains. Missed opportunity for the Loper defense on 3rd and 20. Now the Lopers are arguing for another penalty after Tel Spees wound up flat on his belly after that play. Things starting to heat up a little bit on a steamy afternoon in late September.
A little chippy. Number 69 for Washburn actually pushed off of Tell when Tell was on the ground. Officials let it go.
Jack Johnson out of Kearney made that tackle on Peters. Now they go back to Peters again.
There
is the late penalty. It's Johnson who got buried. And you're right, it's the same player, Jacob Glendinning. That will be his 2nd personal foul. That might lead to a disqualification.
Might.
He's going to the sideline. Unnecessary roughness. The officials didn't say if that was a disqualification because it was hands to the face. I believe that's a personal foul, and with 2 of those, you are disqualified.
Disqualified. So they might not. That might not be the case now, but he could have definitely had 3 consecutive penalties.
So Glendinning cost his team 30 yards in penalties this possession alone, and we'll see if he's able to come back into this ball game or not. But after that play, it's 2nd down and a country mile. Ball at their own 46. Quick pass to the left side and some blockers in front. Solid gain coming back for Washburn before Zach Schlager makes the play, tackling Maury Sullivan, freshman from St. Louis. It's 3rd and 15.
Another big third down here for UNK's defense, and a good opportunity to get off the field again.
An 11-yard pickup there on 2nd down to make this 3rd down a little less daunting. The Ichabods have been efficient in the pass game here in the 3rd quarter. But an unblocked rusher and a sack for Tell Spees. He does it again, the senior from Mullen. Spins Van Dyne to the turf. And the punt unit coming out for the Ichabods after sack number 2 this half. This one for a loss of 9, courtesy of Tell Spees.
Another great job by UNK's defense rising to the occasion there.
2 sacks in 1 quarter. Making a bid for all-conference and maybe even all-American. Zeller has the punt blocked. The football's loose on the right sideline. The Lopers trying to corral it, and they fall on that football. UNK gets the punt block. Nathan Hessick. Pescick swats that football down, and Jeremiah Cox falls on it at the 10-yard line.
That's the second time UNK's punt block team has gotten one. They got one in the Northeast Oklahoma game as well. So good job by Coach Mandelko and the special teams at UNK.
So Pescick with the huge block. 6 foot, 200-pound redshirt junior out of Millard West High School. Special teams setting up the Lopers at the 10-yard line for 1st down and goal, trying to make it a 2-score advantage. Davis gives to Hosey, to Marius Hosey, picking his way forward, still on his feet, into the end zone. Touchdown, Lopers. From 10 yards out to Marius Hosey. Makes it 12-zip.
It's excellent to see UNK's offense explode like that. One play drive, inside run play, and they got good push up front, and Tamarius Hosey was able to take that thing and score with it.
His first rushing touchdown of his Nebraska Kearney career. And the Lopers, after Tell Spees gets a sack, Nathan Pescick gets the punt block. They go in on one play. It only took 6 seconds. That's your favorite type of scoring drive if you're Ryan Held. Gabe Hines does the honors. It's 13-zip UNK in front of Washburn on the Currency scoreboard.
Let your next adventure take flight in Sarpy County, Nebraska for some high-flying fun. Legendary family adventures. Out-of-this-world shopping. Star-studded evenings. And award-winning experiences. Our flights are never canceled. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com.
New Ram trucks available now at Midway Chrysler in Kearney. Take over $10,000 total savings off new Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4s. It's Ram Power Days at Midway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Kearney or thinkmidway.com/CDJR.
The Nebraska Kearney special teams making the huge play. Getting a right hand up is all it took. Nathan Pescick then trying to pick that ball up and take it in, but good job by the Lopers falling on that, getting the possession at the 10, and 6 seconds later, Demarius Hosey finds pay dirt.
Yeah, and I saw Coach Baker, the offensive line coach for UNK, really congratulating James Kent, who's playing right guard for the Lopers right now. And I know Coach Baker's been very high on James. James is a guy that has kind of bounced around a little bit between the O-line and the D-line, and he's back on the offensive line this year and is doing a wonderful job. So good for James, good for the coaches to recognize James, and great job by UNK.
Well, talking to Coach Baker earlier this week, and he thinks James Kent is an all-conference offensive lineman, and he wasn't an offensive lineman until a week before the season started.
Exactly.
Says he's really only had maybe one bad snap on the offensive line, and it was a situation that he had never encountered and hadn't been coached about yet. So Coach Baker's like, all right, I'll teach him that, and then he'll be fine.
And you know, ironically, in the first game of the year against Central Oklahoma, he actually lined up at left tackle. He should be playing guard, and he lined up at left tackle and did a pretty good job.
Kickoff from Gabe Hines. This one for a touchback.
Here we go.
And all the momentum with the home side right now on homecoming, up 13 points. And after a turnover, the defense does more than hold. They make a big play, forcing that 4th and long.
Without a doubt, got the big sack. Tell Spees came in there and got the sack, and then the punt team or the punt block team was able to get a huge play, and we got a short yard drive to able to go up by 2 scores.
And then that situation only exists if you have 4th and long, because if it's 4th and medium, you know Washburn's going for it.
They're going for it without a doubt.
Tell Spees gets a breather. He's not on for this play, and an incomplete pass. Good bear hug that was timed well by Jabia Talong. They were looking for Tice Brown along the right side. He wasn't able to get free. It's 2nd and 10.
That was a well-thrown football, and Tice Brown almost came away with that. Good job by Jabia.
Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by United Healthcare, where small towns matter. Washburn has not had the explosive play on offense yet. They do find a big play here. Down the left sideline, it's complete. Finding Grant, or make that to Weston Rupp, the 6'3 senior from Raymore, Missouri. A 32-yard gain after Devin Gouja makes the stop.
Well, there's their first big play, really. And Jabir Talong is out now. It looks like he might have pulled a hamstring on that defensive play that he had 2 plays ago.
Handoff. They're ripping at that football as the Lopers defense. Percy Mitchell gets the carry. 5'11", 215-pound junior Joko Willis with the tackle. 2nd down and 8 after the short rush.
Coach Tim Schaffner, the defensive coordinator for UNK, is doing a great job of substituting rushers on obvious pass situations. Tim Brown's back in there.
Swing pass. This is Carter. Carter brought to the turf with ease. That's Armani Webster. Armani's really been busy today, taking over a bigger role as a senior corner this season, and the Chicago native leading the team in tackles today.
Very active.
3rd down and 7 after the 1-yard gain. 4 down territory. That's Bell in motion. They
Flare
swing it out to him. And no holding penalty flag thrown.
Boy, that could have been flagged
very
right
easily
there
could have
sure.
been. Schlager ends up making the stop after no gain on that swing pass to Bell.
Jake Zeller, number 18 for Washburn, he had a pretty good grip on number 1 for UNK.
Jervin Smith was over there too for UNK. And he was holding Jameer Jones, you're saying?
Yes.
4th down and 7. The Lopers swap out some defensive linemen. Another big opportunity for a turnover on downs. Van Dyne feeling pressure, throws, it's caught. That has the 1st down yardage, but a penalty flag is out on the field.
I believe UNK was offsides. They jumped a little bit before the snap.
Parker Wise might be the guy. They call it on Tell Spees. Penalties declined, and the completion made on the right side. Brown out there for Washburn. They get their first 4th down conversion of the day. It was Wise that had the pressure.
Joko Willis limping off the sideline a little bit too.
That's notable. former SEC linebacker. Now playing here in the SEC of Division II football, MIAA. Washburn's drive continues. On the slant route, they have it complete for 9 yards. Completed to Tristan Johnson. He's really been a focal point of this offense today. Trey Gwynn makes the stop. And not a guy that was a frequent part of this offense before. Johnson, just 2 catches entering today, has 3 this afternoon. That one for 9 yards.
Well-designed play by the Washburn Ichabods.
Carter had his legs grabbed. Matina on the stop for the Lopers.
Well, that's a huge play by Stephen Matina there to get a loss on the play, because that would have looked like it probably would have been a first down.
He's 360 pounds. I wouldn't want to try to move him.
No. He's a
loss of a yard, so it's 3rd down and 2. Lengthy drive for the Ichabods. Tiandre Carter is the running back. They motion Brown and give it to him. Brown turns the corner, has the first down inside the 15-yard line. Tice Brown, 6 foot, 185-pound junior wideout out of Topeka.
Washburn lined up in an unbalanced set that time and ran the wide receiver in motion for a little jet sweep and was able to get the first down.
It's a new play call for Washburn in this game, and a running sideways on 3rd and short. You don't always think that's going to happen, but they do, and it works. Now in the red zone from the 14. Pass to the end zone is batted around and incomplete. Intended for DJ Bell and Trey Gwynn on the coverage. 2nd and 10.
DJ Bell almost came away with that play. Trey played that pretty well, though.
The Ichabods have co-offensive coordinators, Dane Simoneau and Jeff Schwinn. This is the 11th play of the drive that they have architected. Quick pass to the wideout on the left side. Webster makes the tackle. There's Johnson again to the 9, a gain of 5. 3rd down and 5. And you think UNK is 2 plays to stop 5 yards being gained?
Without a doubt, yeah. I would guess that they're going to go for it on 4th down rather than try to go for a field goal if they don't make it here.
First-year quarterback Van Dyne in the pocket, throws to the right side. That's a first down, and it's a touchdown. They find Connor Searcy, the junior fullback, for a 9-yard score, and the Ichabods are on the board for the first time today.
That was a good drive by Washburn. They did a lot of different things. They moved the ball around from sideline to sideline and put pressure on UNK's defense.
On for a critical extra point right now is Trenton Brem, a junior from Papillion, Nebraska. UNK has missed one today. This one is up and splits the uprights. So it's 13-7. The lead is back down to 6 for Nebraska Kearney with 3 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter on the Currency scoreboard.
UNK is a place where quality education meets hands-on learning, and going the extra mile gets rewarded. It's a place where you can put yourself out there, reach your goals, and set new ones you never thought possible. Be yourself, but develop the best version of you. Let us show you what you're made of. Be blue, be gold, be bold. Apply now to the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Learn more at unk.edu.
New Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Crew Cabs now with 0% APR financing and no monthly payments for 90 days. Find new roads at Central Nebraska's premier GM dealer, Midway Chevrolet Buick GMC in Kearney, or thinkmidway.com/GM.
An impressive drive from the Washburn Ichabods, the 1-3 team out of Topeka, Kansas. A 12-play, 75-yard drive that took 5 minutes and 26 seconds. Some critical conversions on that possession, and with the freshman quarterback, well, he looked awfully comfortable.
Yeah, he's pretty poised in that pocket and delivers a good pass. But again, here we had a 3rd and long situation and gave up a first down on a pass. You know, you just hope that someday you can really get those things shut off. That's kind of been a big deal for us.
Well, we mentioned the offensive coordinators, Semino and Schwinn for the Ichabods. They're underneath the experienced leader, Craig Schurig. 22nd season. His record at Washburn, 138 wins to 95 losses. Helped Washburn to the MIAA title in 2005. They've been second place 4 times, including most recently in 2021. Heck of a program built there by Coach Schurig.
Very solid. He took over kind of a rough situation, and he's turned them into a consistent, solid football program.
4 trips to the playoffs, 4 bowl games, so 8 postseason appearances in 21 seasons. And try to kick this without having to put someone over there to hold the tee. Correction, that was a 4-minute and 46-second drive. Sentiment holds, impressive effort for the Ichabods. Bailey Torres will have a chance to bring this one back from the 7-yard line. He's to the 25, spun around and breaks free at the 30, and might have lost the football. The Lopers quickly signal they have it. He did cough it up, but got back on it. 26-yard return for Torres. And there is the signal. The Lopers keep possession.
You don't want to be having those kind of turnovers in a situation like this. That's kind of been the UNK situation all year. They just managed to come away at the wrong time with a critical error.
Lopers trot out up 6 points. Final few minutes here of quarter number 3, a quarter that this season has not been good for the Nebraska Kearney. They're trying to figure out their personnel. Just slipping out there at the last second is Cole Brown to line up on the far left side of the field.
Play clock shouldn't be an issue here, but
Zane Schwang is the running back. Gets the carry on first down. Zane with a good burst across the 35 to the 36-yard line for a pickup of 5.
That's good to see. A good inside run play again to the right side, and was able to pop something for, 5 yards. You'll take that anytime.
Carl Andrews, the senior out of Mesquite, Texas, makes the play for the Ichabods defense. Give to Schwang again. A little stutter step and almost fell down in the backfield. Lucky if he got back to the line of scrimmage before Mason Capper corralled him. Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com. Well, the lead stands at just 6 points here. Momentum starting to flip to Washburn, an important 3rd down play.
Without a doubt. Hopefully the UNK can come away with a first down here.
3 bunched receivers to the left side of the field. That's where Davis is looking. Now he unloads to Schwang. Schwang against 2 defenders, spins free from one of them, and submarines forward to the 39-yard line. He worked hard to get 3 yards, but it's 4th down and 2. And Davis still on the field now. He's going to head to the sideline. TJ wanted to stay out there.
Yeah. 3rd down again. Just wasn't able to get the first down. It was the 2nd down play after a 5-yard gain. Zane Schwang just slips a little bit, was unable to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now you got a 3rd and long situation.
And right now this offense just not a unit that can overcome being off schedule. With 1 second on the play clock, the Lopers don't get the snap off. Did they get the timeout call?
I think they did.
There is a penalty flag here, whether they called it, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you want to burn a timeout in that kind of a situation, although you do have to punt into the wind or with the wind, so you might as well take advantage of the wind with your back.
It took a while there. Coach Held and Coach Ellis deciding to send the punt unit out. Opted to put it on the foot of Hunter Kraus, and he'll kick away, standing at his own 21. DJ Bell deep to receive for the Bods. High spiraling kick, and Bell doesn't fair catch it. He's corralled and tackled by Sean Ross.
Good coverage downfield by the UNK punt team. Great punt by Hunter again.
Kraus booms it 44 yards with no return. The Loper defense trying to hold the Ichabods out of the end zone and preserve a lead. The tail end of quarter number 3. Van Dyne has been impressive. Just a 51% completion percentage through the first 4 games of the season. He's over 75% here today. Guns it down the left sideline, complete. Still running to the 35, 30-yard line and all the way to Pater.
It's coming back. There's a clip on the backside, but still big, huge play by the Washburn Ichabods.
Tristan Johnson for 77 yards. But Laundry. The officials sorted out. You see, got open. And no safety over there to help out.
You never block behind the play.
It's DJ Bell. So it's a first down, but it's not a 77-yard touchdown. And the UNK coaches take a deep breath. 15 yards from the spot. Or was it just a spot foul? They put it at the 37. Still gained 40 yards on that play.
Yeah, that was a well-designed play by Washburn. They were able to run a little bootleg, but they slipped out a receiver late.
Now the snap gets past the quarterback. It's tracked down, running backwards. Still on his feet is Sullivan, and Maury Sullivan loses even more yards after he picked it up. Quillen Felton chases him down at the 35-yard line. The first down marker stands at the 28 of the Lopers.
Oh, it's good to see UNK get a break. Finally.
There have been some fluke situations that have put the Lopers in precarious spots throughout this season, but thanks to a poor snap, a 28-yard loss sets up second down and 38. Van Dyne to pass. That snap right at his belt. Throws to the left, and it's picked off. Armani Webster.
Great job.
Steps in front of the pass and muscles it away from the Ichabod target. They were looking for Sullivan on the left side, and Webster saw it coming.
Great job by the UNK defense again. They have been resilient all day. That's a great turnover. We haven't had too many turnovers this year, and it's really good to see Armani step up like that and make that play.
For the UNK defense, their 4th INT of the season. And for Armani Webster, his first. Out comes the UNK offense. They'll start in Ichabod territory.
You talk about certain plays, a coaching deal, you say there might be 5 or 6 plays that determine the outcome of the game. If number 8 doesn't block behind that play, all of a sudden it's a tie score, or maybe Washburn's up by a score.
Ooh, Davis way off the mark on that swing pass, trying to get it out to Jerquan Connors, 2nd and 10. Well, that's an excellent observation. I'd already put that way out of memory, the 77-yard score.
Yeah,
wouldn't come back until my nightmares.
Block behind the play that pushed the ball out of the end zone 15 yards back, then a bad snap, and then an interception, and all of a sudden UNK's got the ball on the plus 38-yard line.
And you said it, never block behind the play.
Exactly. being a former wide receivers coach, that's something that you spend a lot of time talking about.
Now can the Lopers turn that turnover into points? Davis fakes the swing, and he doesn't have any space to move. He's drilled by Isaac Keener, 260-pound senior out of Derby. C.J. Callahan also in on the stop. 3rd down and 12 for Nebraska Kearney.
2 plays in a row where UNK has got to get some positive yardage. They don't need to get overly cute here. They just need to get something going positive.
Referee blows his whistle. End of the quarter. We head to the 4th quarter with Nebraska Kearney in front of Washburn 13-7. UNK looking for its 2nd win of the season here on News Channel Nebraska.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com and by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports for more highlights, interviews, rankings, and our full schedule.
This is what we expected, a competitive matchup. A couple of teams at 1-3, not used to being 2 games under 500, and they don't want to remain there. We've seen a hard-fought football game, and it's coming down to the final 15 minutes.
Without a doubt.
3,942 in attendance today, nearly 4,000 on homecoming. UNK has to like that. The band wearing some black overalls here on homecoming. Yeah, they got it. They just took off their uniforms, and I don't blame them. 90 degrees.
A little warm to be wearing
that seems
layers,
smart.
right? A little warm to be wearing layers today.
Yeah, the student section emptied out a little bit since the first half, baking in the heat, but some folks staying on to cheer on their Lopers, who face a 3rd down and 12. See what Colby Ellis and Ryan Held cooked up during the quarter break. Zane Schwung has been the primary back since about the 2nd or 3rd series, and he's in there now.
Zane's a solid running back, but what he does do is he provides you a pretty good set of hands coming out of the backfield if you try to throw the ball to your back.
Davis in trouble off his back foot, launches to the sideline. It's caught into the red zone. Finding it, that's Cole Brown. Jaquez White on the coverage. And Cole Brown with a huge gain. And what an excellent job adjusting to that football for the 24-yard pickup.
Excellent play. Good throw by TJ. It was right on time.
Davis drops the snap, keeps the play alive. Still looking and throws an interception. Tried to get it out of bounds, but threw it right to Josh Grant. The Ichabod's secondary player, all he had to do was keep his feet in bounds and reach up to catch that one. What an odd play.
Here we go, another bad snap, and then make a poor decision. Should have probably
I think he was trying to throw it away.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was a good play by the Washburn player.
He just didn't throw it far enough wide.
Kind of floated it, and it's a good play by the Washburn kid.
An uncharacteristic mistake for the 6th-year senior. More than 4 seasons of starting experience. Davis, so a lapse of judgment there after the huge pickup to convert on 3rd and long. That's the 2nd turnover of the half for the Lopers. Joko Willis limits the Ichabods to 3 yards on 1st down.
Well, defense has played well this whole game, so hopefully they can step up one more time here in the fourth quarter.
Nursing that 6-point cushion. UNK with an impressive drive early in the third quarter, but since then the offense unable to put any more points on the board, relying on that defense and special teams. Van Dyne throws, broken up, and a big hit in the process. Jervin Smith got his hands on that football, and then Trey O'Gwyn made sure that Tice Brown knew he was there too. And see O'Gwyn with the hit. And really nice coverage by Jervin Smith.
Yes. UNK rolls to three-high coverage or cover three when Washburn gets into that formation. They motion to that formation, and where you can really hurt them is with an inside seam route. So the safeties really have to play that, and both did that time very well.
Snap back with 4 seconds on the play clock. A pump fake. Van Dyne keeps it alive. Still looking downfield. Reverses course. He's in trouble. Throws it up, and it's incomplete. Coverage for UNK applied by Jack Johnson, and they were looking for Carter out of the backfield. How about that? Jack Johnson, the defensive lineman, floating back in coverage.
Pretty good. Show some athleticism.
Yeah, there's 48 on your screen. Former Kearney High Bearcat. Now he plays defensive end. And he was in zone coverage. And a 3-and-out forced by the Loper defense, just their second. Seth Holt applied the pressure in the pocket against Van Dyne, who was doing everything he could to keep that alive. Rugby-style punt. Fair caught by Schwung at the 48. So the Davis turnover does not lead to anything for Washburn. The 43-yard punt, and Davis will come back out there trying to make up for the miscue.
Now sometimes just getting a second chance like that is a good job by Zane. You got good field position. Now maybe the Lopers can regroup a little bit offensively. They got some things out of their system, and hopefully they can put something on the board.
Well, one thing I noticed by looking over the rosters here before we resume action with 13 and a half minutes left here on your Aurora Cooperative scoreboard, Washburn seems to draw players from pretty much two places.
Yes.
Kansas and Georgia.
Right.
They have a pipeline developed to Georgia, but the base of their recruiting happens in Topeka. In their starting lineup between offense and defense, there are 5 starters from Topeka.
Coach Schurig has done a good job of recruiting local talent in Kansas, and especially in the Kansas City, Topeka, Lawrence area. Has done a great job there. And that's how he's built the program, and they're a very solid, consistent program year in and year out, and he's been able to get some really talented kids out of the Georgia area.
Of the starters, the 22 starters for Washburn, and if you added their punter, they would have 13 players from Kansas in the starting lineup.
That's pretty impressive, really. He's doing a good job of keeping kids home, and you know, that helps with proximity from mom and dad are able to come to the game, sell more concessions. It's a win-win a lot of times when you do that.
So a homegrown base, not bad for a coach originally from New Jersey.
Without doubt.
Coach Schurig.
I guess when he moved to Pittsburgh, Kansas, it rubbed off on him or something.
Yeah, played his football at Colorado School of Mines, was a defensive back, then longtime assistant at Pitt State before getting the call to be the head coach of the Ichabod's. Now his Bods are out there hoping to keep the Lopers off the board. Davis fakes to Joseph, runs the option, late pitch, has it to Cole Brown. Brown tiptoes the sideline and out of bounds. If he stays in, he has nothing but turf in front of him for 6, but instead steps out at the 42. That's still a gain of 10.
That's good to see the option work like that, and if, like you said, if Cole just stays in bound right there, it's an easy score. But
and if we had the ultra zoom camera, I'd love to see how close it was.
Exactly.
Now Cole Brown will be watching that film again and think, oh, why couldn't I just walk that tightrope a little bit more? He'd be celebrating in the end zone. Lopers still get that first down. Fake the run. They go deep down the right side. It's hauled in. Sev Foster, touchdown Lopers, 42 yards. And there's the big play strike. Davis to Foster.
Well, there's a great example of what being able to run the football and make them defend the option does. As we've seen the last 2 years previous to this, a lot of big plays for UNK came off the option look, and they got receivers running behind defensive backs, and it was pretty much a carbon copy of that on that play right there. They just ran an option play and were able to hit a big play action pass off of it.
Nobody on the Lincoln Southeast graduate. Transfer out of McNeese State. The third touchdown grab of the season and the second in as many games for Sev Foster. The lead's back to 13 for the Lopers on News Channel Nebraska.
UNK is a place where quality education meets hands-on learning, and going the extra mile gets rewarded. It's a place where you can put yourself out there, reach your goals, and set new ones you never thought possible. Be yourself, but develop the best version of you. Let us show you what you're made of. Be blue, be gold, be bold. Apply now to the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Learn more at unk.edu.
A two-play drive, 38 seconds is all it took to go 52 yards. We're kicking ourselves that Cole Brown couldn't handle the sideline and navigate it for a touchdown, but the next play, fake the option and go deep. And Sev Foster, and he's been a huge addition to this wide receiver core. Last time out here at Cope Stadium, had a couple of mistakes, but touchdowns in back-to-back games, that's pretty good.
Without a doubt, and you know, a great play selection by Coach Ellis there. He came out, hit an option going to the UNK right, and really put Washburn back on their heels, and then came right back again to the UNK right for a huge play action pass.
(20-7), the new score. The Lopers going to turn things over to their defense. And that's been a good thing for most of this game.
Without a doubt, UNK's defense has really played well.
Let's see that play again. Runs out like he's going to toss the option, and Foster, he had 7 yards on everybody.
Without a doubt. All you have to do is put the ball where it needs to be on that if you're the quarterback.
So Gabe Hines will kick off into the wind. So a possible return for the Ichabods. DJ Bell, who's the deep man. And the ball blows off the tee. Glad you could join us for some Loper football. We broadcast every home game here on News Channel Nebraska TV. Just 5 home games this year. I'm going to miss that 6th game.
Yeah.
Call that the Charlie Brown there, and that attempt for Hines almost had his leg in the air. They hit the road for 2 weeks after this, Scott, so really wanting to leave home feeling good.
You bet. And they got a couple of tough ones coming up. They've got Central Missouri followed by Fort Hays State.
Not much of a return available. Good job by Hines getting that high kick and some high hang time. Just a 4-yard return before Parker Wise unloaded on Bell.
Great job by the special team coverage unit. And again, Parker Wise. We've called his name several times today. He's doing a good job out there.
Important play coming up here in the fourth quarter. 12:46 to go. Your fourth quarter brought to you by Visit Lincoln. See and experience all that Lincoln has to offer. Discover more at lincoln.org. And a nice burst for the Ichabods. It's Peters getting the carry. Devin Gouja tracks him down after about 12.
Talon Peters hasn't carried the ball as many times as I thought he probably would going into today's game, but he's an excellent football player.
And Peters has not been the featured back the amount that we expected, but they're going to throw to him here. He makes the catch for a couple of yards before he's pushed out by Webster. But Peters, 6th all-time on the rushing chart for Washburn. He's nearing 2,300 rushing yards on his career, almost 500 carries, 8th all-time at Washburn. So today, he just needed 5 yards to get to that 6th spot on the career charts for the Bods. Van Dyne goes over the middle late, and he has Searcy, who had the touchdown catch. Searcy breaks free from a tackle, and it takes a whole host of Lopers to get him to the ground at the 33.
Plus, we've got a penalty on the ground. I believe it was a roughing the passer.
Right now, it's a 31-yard gain. Well, that's better for the Lopers.
Yeah, that's way better.
Bergen Hofer, the 6'3", 300-pound senior out of Fremont, Nebraska, helping out the college team from his home state. That's a 10-yard penalty that negates the 31-yard gain.
That was a huge penalty.
There's been a couple of those, 2 or 3.
In UNK's favor.
We've had 2 personal foul penalties against a lineman, a holding call, and a holding call that stopped a 77-yard touchdown. That's 4 critical penalties against the Ichabods today.
Yep, and in a game like this where you got 2 evenly matched teams, mistakes are what's going to make the difference.
And special teams, where UNK has excelled with a punt block. It's 2nd and 17 after the flag. And there's a lot of it coming right back via the run game. Good cutback. It was Talon Peters again. Tim Brown made the tackle. Peters starting to get a little more running room than he had earlier in the game.
Yeah, you know, he's one of those running backs that the more carries he gets, the more comfortable he gets, the more he sees the holes, and he's able to make those plays happen.
An 11-yard gain sets up 3rd down and 5. Van Dyne looks back to the sideline and adjusts his protection. 3 wide receivers in this formation. Van Dyne over the middle, and it's caught. Finds Weston Ropp again. Schlager tackles him, but not before he manages the 1st down to the 47-yard line. 9-yard pickup.
They've been able to exploit the hook zone in between the linebackers a little bit all day. They've been able to kind of drive their tight end in there and been able to hit him for some short passes that equal
Felton,
1st down.
Q Felton got his paws up there and swatted that football up. Well, he's 6'4". Showed off a leaping ability as well, and timed that really well.
Very much so. It looked like, and that thing was up in the air too. Had it been able to snag that and go in the end zone, that would have been great.
Well, that most recent 3rd down conversion made it 7 for 15 on the afternoon for the Ichabods. They give to Peters again, this time the Loper defense there to meet him at the line of scrimmage. That's Tim Brown again. Just a gain of a yard.
Tim Brown's had a pretty good game today coming off the bench. He's a very athletic young man. He can run well, and it's good to see him in there making some plays.
Brown now with 5 tackles on the afternoon, a guy that didn't see much playing time until the last couple of weeks. 3rd down and 8. Van Dyne picks up the snap. Willis gets him, and the ball's loose. Willis has it. Joko Willis down the left sideline. He's going all the way. Touchdown, Lopers.
You don't often see a guy make a sack, cause a fumble, pick up the ball, and score a touchdown all by himself. That's an incredible football play by Joko Willis.
Oh, and he picked that football up. He employed the spin move immediately. Looked like he's practiced some returns before in his career.
I think he probably has. What a great play by Joko Willis.
And shows his athleticism. You may have seen in the offseason when he transferred in from Auburn University. Yes, that Auburn University. After the play. So UNK called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. James Kent, the offensive lineman. but that will be enforced on the kickoff. Well, back to Willis. He has a highlight reel play that's been shared everywhere. SportsCenter Top 10. Against LSU, he made a thundering hit in special teams, and that was a showcase of his athleticism, and he just showed it off there, zooming past the left tackle, getting to that football, and then spinning his way for 6.
Without a doubt.
And Gabe Hines confidently kicks it through to make it 27-7. A defensive touchdown for Nebraska Kearney has the Lopers enjoying the 20-point cushion here on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Well, who wants to see that play again? I do. Van Dyne not ready for the snap. Then Willis rushes around the edge. There's that spin move. And he's going to tell Cole Brown, that's how you walk the sideline.
Exactly.
Impressive work.
That gives UNK a little bit of breathing room now. Not that you can let up. I hope the defense keeps playing like they have been, because they have really put on a pretty good show today defensively.
35-yard touchdown return for Joko Willis. First defensive score this season. And we've been waiting for that. We know this defense is loaded with talent. Not a whole ton of experience here at UNK, but some transfers, some veterans like Schlager and Spies, and starting to see forcing some turnovers, starting to see scoring some points. And Tim Schaffner and company hopeful that continues as the season wears on. Fake the reverse, and there's nobody home. Carter down the left sideline, still going with flags on the field, brought down at the 31. 45-yard return, but we'll see what those penalty flags are about. Jerome Houston made the touchdown-saving tackle.
Washburn's special teams have some little wrinkles in there too. You know, they ran the reverse earlier. That time they faked the reverse.
So a blindside block against Ty Weber, the freshman tight end out of Topeka. And once again, a penalty voids a big Washburn play.
Without doubt. I think, you know, Washburn, they have some young kids, but maybe part of the reason that they've struggled a little bit this year is they just are not making good decisions during the heat of the battle. And, you know, they've had some really critical plays or penalties today that has really helped UNK out.
The Lopers with 6 penalties for 60 yards after that personal foul after the play on the touchdown. And timeout taken by Tim Schaffner, the defensive coordinator. For the Lopers, that's the most penalty yards in a game this season. They were best in the league, only 40 yards of penalties against them on average per game. But 60 today, but the more painful yards have come against Washburn. Timeout taken by UNK. They have the 20-point lead on News Channel Nebraska.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Oh, we talked about the UNK penalties, the Washburn penalties adding up also. 6 penalties for 75 yards, but they've taken 150 yards off the board.
And a touchdown.
Yeah, they could use more of that, more scoring right now. This Ichabod offense. Hands off, Q Felton able to make the stop, just 2 yards. It's 2nd down and 8. And with that run play, the clock starts to wind, and the clock's starting to become a close friend of the Lopers. Today's broadcast is sponsored in part by Zollner Ford Lincoln. If you're in the market for a vehicle in southeast Nebraska, hit them up in Beatrice. Van Dyne. Felton gets in again. Q Felton deflects a pass, makes the stop on the run, and now he flexes following another Loper sack. And he is going for the football too. Loss of 6.
How many sacks is that for UNK? Do we have any idea? I mean, I think they've been getting a few of them today.
The defense has been active for Nebraska Kearney. And we got their tackle for loss. So here's the sack total. That's 5 sacks. If this is live stats is accurate. Now Joko with 2, Telspees with 2, and Felton with 1. Nice move and picking up the first down on 3rd and 15. That's Talon Peters. Peters becoming the workhorse this half. And Peters picks up the first down.
Got a UNK player down.
That's Jeremiah Cox, the 6'2", 200-pound junior. Transfer out of College of the Canyons. And he got that right to the chest, the shoulder lowered on that 17-yard gain by Peters. And that's what's contributing to a player down for UNK.
Looked initially like UNK had Talon pretty well wrapped up, but he made an excellent move and was able to drive forward and get that first down.
Yeah, when you can just go down your progressions to a swing pass and pick up 17 yards on 3rd down.
Yeah.
Not bad. And now standing up. Cox will be helped off to the sideline. But yes, now the live stats are reading 5 sacks for this UNK defense. That's been really terrific. They haven't been a huge sack team this year. They entered with just 5 on the season for a loss of 36 yards, and they get 5 sacks today.
That's awesome. They just, it's good to see that the defense is coming together. They did really for 3 quarters last week against a great football team. And now today they've been able to kind of put together a whole game. Hopefully they can continue and wrap this thing up. But excellent defensive effort in a lot of different areas today.
Van Dyne hands off, and holes starting to develop for Peters. Gets to midfield, or just short of it, a yard short, before Seth Holt knocks him down following the pickup of 7. Washburn and still taking their time between snaps a little bit.
Yeah,
down
they're
3 touchdowns.
Back to basically running their base offense, handing the ball to Talon Peters and short passes. And
Van Dyne tucks. Now he thinks twice about it. He laid down a yard before the first down marker. It's 3rd and 1. Joko Willis was there, and I wouldn't want to get hit by him again after that last time he strip sacked, picked it up, and brought it back for 6. Well, big reason this defense has excelled, Tell Spees getting some sacks. There's one. And the Mullen native jiggles the belly, comes back for another. And there he gets the snack. He's not in there on this play. On 3rd down, the slant route is incomplete. Threw that to Brown. Brown couldn't haul it in. Trejo Gwynn with the coverage. 4th and 1.
4th and 1. You know Washburn's going to go for it. So.
And there's Telspees jogging onto your screen. Spelling Chris Valdez, who was in on that last snap. Lots to rave about with this Nebraska Kearney defense on the afternoon. 4th down efficiency, one of those 3 4th down stops for the Loper defense. They've only allowed 1 conversion. Now on the 5th attempt for Washburn. Looking left, Van Dyne finds a man over the left seam, and it's Dylan Gilbert with the reception. Schlager tackles him at the 33, and another Loper is down following that 16-yard play.
One thing that is a little bit of a concern now, we've had a couple of defensive backs show some slight injuries, and
this one might just be a cramp.
Yeah.
Jervin Smith just sat down after that play. He'll get stood up and walked off. Some unseasonably warm temperatures. 90 degrees.
Without a doubt.
And, of course, you know that on the turf it's hotter. And I was down there earlier. I had to undo my top button on the dress shirt, let it breathe a little bit.
Right.
This is breaking out the sweat during my interview with Coach Held.
The advantage of being the color guy is that you don't have to wear a tie, I guess.
One of the many perks. First down and 10 for the Ichabods. They convert for just the second time on fourth down. They average going for it 4 times a game on fourth. Timing off. Receiver never turned around. They were trying to get Maurice Sullivan. Seth Holt was there for the coverage. And the incompletion makes it 2nd and 10. Well, we mentioned Coach Held. We'll be visiting with him after the game. Coach's post-game interview is brought to you by Sarpy County Tourism. This is the 9th play of the Ichabods drive. Good blitz pickup by Carter, but the pressure still coming and finally gets home. The Lopers, another sack. It's Parker Wise, the Kearney native.
Coach Schaffner he brought a little pressure, brought both linebackers into the A gap up front, and they were both able to put pressure on the quarterback, and he had nowhere to go.
4-yard loss. Have to give some credit to Delonte Dickey. If Parker Wise didn't get him, Dickey was right there too. Parker got picked up on that blitz by the running back, but fought through Carter's block to come back and make the play. More pressure on Van Dyne, and this time he unloads. He's had enough of having his back on the ground. Spikes that ball into the turf. Some chatter after the play. No flag, and it's 4th and 14. Devin Guja on the pressure.
Joko Willis had a little spin move. He was putting pressure there too, and I think quarterback Van Dyne, I think he's still feeling probably that hit that Joko put on him for the touchdown.
Thinking about a late sub to put C.J. Sanui out there. They pull him back off, and all 3 linemen are standing for UNK. Rushing the passer on 4th and 14 over the middle and incomplete. Is that going to be a flag? Yes.
Yes.
Trey
Gwynn needs to.
He threw a shoulder.
No reason for that.
And the 2 officials closest to the play didn't throw the flag. It was the field judge on the UNK sideline, and the intended target still on the field. That's Bell. He's laying face first on the ground.
Well, you hate to see that. UNK's defense did a great job on 4th down. Again, they could have been off the field, and now we got a roughing penalty or personal foul that's going to end up being a first down for Washburn.
Yeah, Gwynn.
Trey needs to use his head a little bit more there.
And he didn't lead with his head, so that's a good thing in terms of targeting.
Yeah, I don't believe it's targeting. I think it's just a late hit.
Maurice Sullivan, I believe, is actually the player who was down. 80, not 8. The freshman from St. Louis helped off. So will this be targeting, or will it be a different personal foul penalty?
Yeah, they called targeting. I don't believe it's targeting. I don't know how they review it here, but.
They said 20, but it's 22 O'Gwyn. It's a targeting penalty, and there's a coaching moment happening on the field right now. Trey, a senior that leads the team in tackles. critical piece. With that penalty comes a suspension as well for the first half next week, and that's what really hurts you. You're up 20, feeling like even if there's points on this drive that you're going to get a win, but that's going to hurt for next week not having your best defensive back in the first half.
Without doubt.
And it was just too far after the play.
Yep.
The referees are going to walk over and they're going to look at this to determine if it should be a targeting penalty or not. He did not lead with the head, but certainly was a defenseless receiver. As they take a look at this review, we're going to take a short break. With 5 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in this game, it's the Lopers 27-7 on the Currency scoreboard.
A new year, a fresh start, a resolution to grow more, gain more, give more. The process is the same: plant, grow, harvest. But the way you do it is always evolving. And so are we. Aurora Cooperative. Grow, gain, give. Aurora and you.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com and by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports for more highlights, interviews, rankings, and our full schedule.
Drive over winter in a new Jeep 4x4 from Midway Chrysler in Kearney. Lease a new Jeep Compass Latitude 4x4, only $331 a month, during Jeep Adventure Days at Midway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Kearney. Or you can shop online now at thinkmidway.com/CDJR.
UNK is a place where quality education meets hands-on learning, and going the extra mile gets rewarded. It's a place where you can put yourself out there, reach your goals, and set new ones you never thought possible. Be yourself, but develop the best version of you. Let us show you what you're made of. Be blue, be gold, be bold. Apply now to the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Learn more at unk.edu.
The referees are under the tent reviewing a targeting penalty against Trey O'Gwyn of Nebraska Kearney as the Lopers lead 27-7 with 5.5 minutes left in quarter number 4. Here's a look at that play. What we're looking for here on targeting, generally defined as leading with the helmet to make forcible above the shoulder contact. And definitely after the play on a late hit. I don't think he leads with the helmet, but you cannot question the defenseless receiver part.
Right, and you can't lunge at the player either.
Right.
You know? So he did lead his feet and led with his head, with his upper body. So,
but a long review.
I'm sure they want to make sure that they have this call right when it comes to the fact that you might suspend somebody for a half.
So this in the hands of the officials. We'll check in on some other MIAA action. Final score here from the state of Missouri, and this one, shockwaves across D2 in that state. Central Missouri 41, Northwest Missouri State 38. That is final. The Mules are 4-1, and the Bearcats of Northwest Missouri State find themselves at 2-3, a preseason top 15 team in the country.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time that Northwest has been in that situation, but it's been a long time.
Targeting confirmed. So Trey O'Gwyn will not be able to play for the rest of this game or the first half next week, and a huge loss for the Lopers. So
the unfortunate thing is the defense has played so well. You don't want to make errors that are critical that have an impact like that.
Well, we told you earlier that it was 14-0 at half, Northeastern State in front of Pitt State, a much closer game than many would expect, but the Gorillas continue to prove they're a second half team. They win 42-7.
I don't know what their coaches do at halftime, but whatever it is, they do a magical job.
This one in the final minute of the fourth quarter, maybe heading to overtime. Central Oklahoma 27, Missouri Southern 27. Exciting game in Edmond.
Without doubt. Missouri Southern had quite a lead, if I remember.
They had a couple score lead. Missouri Western, Emporia State in the second quarter now. And Emporia State, the top 25 team, trailing in St. Joe's. The Griffins ahead 14-6 over Emporia. Still lots of football to go there.
Without a doubt.
This league's tough.
Very much so. You have to be ready to play 60 minutes every week.
Yeah, the Missouri Western, that's a really nice showing for them. That will be our next broadcast, October 21st. Missouri Western coming to town will be a noon kickoff. Right now, they lead against Emporia. 11th play of the drive for Washburn after that extended review. Pressure on the quarterback. He gets rid of it ahead of the Nicolaisen tackle attempt. They got that to Weber. Joko Willis flips him around, and it's second down and 4 or 5. Second and 4, 6-yard gain.
UNK almost got there with another sack. Good pressure by the defensive line. They're giving the Washburn offensive line some fits today.
Lots of depth there along that defensive line. They rotate bodies frequently. Now under 4:45 to play in this game. Van Dyne has time now. Sets his feet, throws, and perfect timing on the hit. Breaks up the pass. Having a conversation afterwards, Jameer Jones. He smacks the veteran running back, Talon Peters. And Jones having himself a nice game.
Yeah, he's playing very well.
Third down and 4 with the ball at the Loper 16-yard line. In motion comes Sullivan. He was that player who was slow to get up after the O'Gwin hit. Throws that way. Sullivan makes the catch, tries to escape. We'll see where he marks it. Jack Johnson was over there for Nebraska Kearney, him and Willis. Looks like he has the yardage.
Looks like he's right there at the stick.
To the 12. Got the 4 yards needed. Really nice effort by Sullivan to do it. Made that catch a yard or two short of the line to gain. Rolling left. The southpaw in trouble. Tell Spees is out there. Gets rid of the football. What a nice sidearm dump-off pass to Armani Tukes. Now, Van Dyne's been impressive today.
He's a good young quarterback, I would expect. We're going to hear a lot about him for the next 4 years.
6'3", 210, has good size. Really calm presence in the pocket. And Tell Spees was on his back, and he went sidearm, accurate pass. And another defensive timeout for Tim Schaffner, the coordinator for Nebraska Kearney. Stops the clock at 4:03 remaining in quarter number 4. UNK 27, Washburn 7 on the Currency scoreboard.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs. All backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, lawn and garden tractor, or gator, every piece of equipment in our inventory is ready to work hard for your operation. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or learn more at landmarkimp.com to experience the Landmark difference.
On homecoming, Nebraska Kearney in good position. Up 20 points with 4 minutes and 3 seconds left in the game. They've burned a couple of timeouts here on defense, trying to keep that 20-point lead. This is the 15th play of this drive. Started at the Washburn 30. They've taken 5 minutes and 25 seconds to get to second down and 4 from the Loper 7. CJ Sanui in to help clog up the middle on this 2nd and 4. Low snap, quarterback keeps, and right in his face comes Chris Valdez, 6'2", 280-pound junior. New Mexico Military Institute transfer for a loss of 3. That depth showcased again for the UNK defensive line. Valdez entered today with just 3 tackles, but gets a TFL there. It's 3rd down and 8. They can't get a first at the 2, and Tim Brown was sprinting towards the quarterback, and false starts the signal.
Tim Brown showed a little bit of speed coming off that edge there.
Andrew Funk, you can see the right tackle. Took a full step back and then points at Tim. You got to try to sell it, right?
Yeah, without a doubt.
3rd and 12 after the 5-yard penalty. Seventh penalty against Washburn. Van Dyne throws complete, touchdown. Nice pitch and catch. 15-yard completion to Tristan Johnson. And the Ichabods on 3rd down, unfazed, find Pater.
Jameer Jones had a chance to knock that away. Almost came away with an interception, but it was a great throw and catch by the Washburn offense.
They convert for their 2nd score of the half, trying to cut it to a 13-point deficit. Trenton Bram gets it up and through. It's 27-14. Kickoff from the Ichabods coming up when we return to hot and blustery Cope Stadium.
Some jobs are hard work, long hours, busy days, late nights. But there's something in us that keeps us going when we know what we're doing is making a difference in someone's life. Because it's the hardest jobs that are the most important, and that pride you feel makes it more than worth the effort. NPPD, powering our state, empowering your life.
Tom Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. 20 years of building lifelong relationships. 20 years of providing superior customer experiences. 20 years of supporting the community. For 20 years, we've been building trust and loyalty by treating every customer like family on every visit. We're proud to serve Grand Island and the surrounding areas. Thank you for 20 great years, and we look forward to many more. Help us celebrate 20 years of service. Stop in today.
Onside kick attempt, and UNK gets it. No trouble doing so. The Cole Brown, the wide receiver. So UNK gets the football. Here's how that last drive ended. A 16-play, 70-yard drive that took 6:23 off the clock. 15-yard touchdown pass. And some impressive effort by Washburn. They overcame 3 sacks to get that touchdown.
Yeah. Van Dyne threw a dart on that touchdown play. I mean, it was in the middle of 3 UNK defenders, and great catch by the receiver. But yeah, that was a well-thrown football.
Tristan Johnson entered today with just 2 catches for 26 yards. He has been the top wideout for Washburn. Going to the left side. Demarius Hosey shut down. No gain. Andrews making the play for Washburn. And the Ichabods call their first of 3 timeouts. We'll stay here on News Channel Nebraska. 2 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in quarter number 4 on your Aurora Cooperative scoreboard. The lead at 13 for the Lopers, who are likely to continue running the football here. I mentioned that we have UNK football home games here on television. Next broadcast will be October 21st. That's Saturday. It's a noon kickoff against Missouri Western, and that will be a matchup of two first-year head coaches.
Now, the new coach at Missouri Western, obviously, he's got them playing pretty well because they're leading Emporia right now, and they've been in every game that they've played. So that's going to be a challenge again for the UNK Lopers here at home.
Well, Coach Ryan Held hoping that he gets his team to put 4 quarters together. That's what he's been talking about. We have him on our radio show on ESPN Tri-Cities every week and talking to him in practice and before games. Just wants to see 4 complete quarters. He says they've had some games where they've played 3 good quarters, but not 4, and that's maybe the difference between a couple more wins on the ledger.
Without a doubt. And today's probably been as close as they've come. The offense still struggled a little bit in the third quarter. They were able to score a couple of touchdowns, though. And or I take that back. They were able to score 1. Again, defense has played exceptionally well today. And so I would say that they've played maybe 4 quarters. The offense just needs a little bit of work, I think, but they're getting closer.
Bailey Torres is split wide to the right, a player we featured on his kickoff returns. Hasn't had too many snaps at wideout yet this season. They give to Hosey. Hosey bust outside. Hosey has the first down and more.
That's critical right there, getting that first down.
Rushing all the way to the 24-yard line before Braylon Alexander shoved him out. That's a gain of about 15 yards. And now they'll place it for sure. They're on the left hash mark at the 34. A 14-yard gain. And because of the new rule this season, the clock runs after a first down until you get under 2 minutes to play. And UNK going to just run it all the way down and call timeout with 1 second on the play clock. The final timeout taken by the Lopers, draining every second off the clock that they can. So Coach Held gathers his team. Homecoming festivities here this afternoon. I mentioned earlier that some Hall of Famers inducted today. Buck Mahoney, the Kearney Hub sports director for, I don't know how long, but it's
long time.
Multiple decades. And sports editor there. And Mike Miller, fantastic running back. That's who TJ Davis is chasing in the all-time rushing charts. I'm going to update you on where TJ stands there. Today he passed 4,000 career rushing yards, just another notch of excellence for a guy that has come to define this program.
Without a doubt.
TJ came in needing 67 yards rushing to get to that mark, the 4,000 rushing yard mark. And today, Davis leading the team. He's actually gone backwards this half, so I have to take it back. Because of that sack earlier, and he hasn't run the ball since then, he has 59 yards rushing, so he's still 8 yards away from 4,000. Trailing just Mike Miller, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame today. Demarius Hosey gets back to the line of scrimmage, and Washburn takes timeout. 13-point lead for the Lopers. Will step aside again. Just 1 timeout remaining for the Ichabods on News Channel Nebraska.
That is literally the funniest thing ever.
And then I said...
It wasn't, but this guy could use a win. Even if it's not as big of a win as I get with free Kasasa Cash checking. Kasasa Cash pays me a really high rate and refunds ATM withdrawal fees nationwide. So I feel like a queen. Has a mega bank ever made you feel that way? Or is it more like this guy? Take back banking with Kasasa Cash.
Get Kasasa checking at Liberty First Credit Union.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com and by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports for more highlights, interviews, rankings, and our full schedule.
Neither side wants to relent. They've spent 5 timeouts this half. The Ichabods coaching up hard, trailing by 13 with 2:08 to go. UNK facing a 2nd down and 10. Likely to run the ball and force the Bods to call their final timeout. And they can get that clock inside of a minute before their 4th down snap. Or at least get it inside of a minute 20.
Yep.
Michael Shively, Scott Hoffman with you. Glad you could join us on a Saturday afternoon for some college football. The Lopers 1-3, Washburn 1-3. Trying to get that 2nd win of the season, UNK, and in the first year under the new head coach Ryan Held, hoping this could be a spark plug that gets them going the rest of the season. Here's Davis, gonna run it himself. TJ gets back to the line, bent backwards, maybe gains a yard. And with 2 minutes remaining, timeout taken by Washburn. So final timeout by the Ichabods. Looking at that schedule, we mentioned that Missouri Western is the next home game, but next week it's at Central Missouri and at Fort Hays State. The Mules looking mighty good this season. Josh Lamberson has really turned that program around, Scott. Last season, tough effort. Lopers took care of UCM, but it's going to be a tougher test this year.
Without a doubt, and of course Josh Lamberson spent 2 years here as a head coach and was only able to come away with 1 win. And so I think he probably will have the UNK game marked in red on his calendar. So I know he'd love nothing more than to get a W against the Lopers. So I'm sure it's going to be a tough environment next week in Warrensburg for the UNK Lopers.
It'll be a fascinating game. UNK has had the Mules number of late, but right now, Central Missouri, a top 25 team coming off a signature victory against Northwest Missouri today. Washburn can't stop the clock. 3rd down and 8. Davis going to keep. Rushes outside. TJ Davis lowers his shoulder. He wants to get to 4,000. Where do they mark him? At the 25, a gain of 7. Patrick Altenor, the junior from Wichita, makes the play out of the defensive end spot. And I believe that should put TJ over 4K for his career. And it sets up 4th and 1. 4,001 career rushing yards for TJ Davis.
Don't take a loss, TJ.
Can he get the 817 yards needed to tie or exceed Mike Miller the rest of this season? That's going to be the question. Hosey not able to pick up on 4th down and 1. He's pushed back. Altenor again leading the stop for Washburn. Turnover on downs gives it to the Ichabods. They have 1 minute and 7 seconds and trail by 2 scores. No timeouts. UNK defense comes out. They've impressed today. Washburn has run 79 plays compared to UNK's 47, which is astonishing. So this defense has been out there on a hot day for the entire afternoon. And football came loose there at the end, but out of bounds. Peters with the reception gets 8 yards. Webster pushes him out.
Well, UNK was able to have two two-play scoring drives, so that changes things a little bit. But, yeah, 47 snaps in one game is pretty incredible.
Yeah, 80
and to come
snaps.
away with the win. Yeah.
80 snaps, and they've allowed just over 350 yards, but you're going to do that on 80 snaps. Washburn averaging about 4.5 yards a play. And they do get a 1st down conversion. They got that to Sullivan again. So the defense will be tired tonight, but they've earned themselves a steak dinner. 11-yard pickup for the Ichabods. Now pump fake, Van Dyne. Van Dyne goes deep. He has a man. One-handed grab. Touchdown, Bell. DJ Bell for 54 yards. Who needs two hands? And it's a 7-point game.
Yeah, just a lapse by the defensive secondary at UNK, just giving up a big play. Great play by Bell with a one-handed catch. And now all of a sudden, it's a one-score game, and you're going to have to recover an onside kick.
Armani Webster is down. I'm not sure if it looks like it's a cramp scenario again, but that's what you couldn't allow there. The UNK defense set up even to defend the deep pass, knowing that's really all that could make this a competitive game. But there was Bell running wide open down the right seam.
And he made an outstanding catch. That was just an unbelievable.
Well, I think he could have made a two-handed catch if he had.
I think so, probably. Yeah.
He had wanted to. And Bell made the play. Looked good doing it. And extra point away from being down just 6. And the hands unit will have to make a big play on that onside kick attempt, which is no doubt coming soon. 3-play, 72-yard drive, 26 seconds is all it took, thanks to the 54-yard touchdown pass for Van Dyne. Longest pass play of the season for Washburn. And the Nebraska native, Brim, sends it through. It's a 6-point game. And don't go anywhere. We got 41 seconds left to Lopers hoping to put it away at home. It's onside kick time. The kicker for Washburn is Gavin Wilhelm, the kickoff specialist out of Topeka, Kansas. The Lopers clinging to a 6-point cushion with 41 seconds left in the game. They've recovered one onside kick, and Washburn's trying to signal that they might have this one. Who emerges with the football? A UNK player was there. Did he secure the ball? The unenviable task of unstacking the pile. No signal.
They're
going to talk. It's UNK football.
UNK football, so wow.
All right, we'll see the replay here. Jaquan Connor's in the area. He's not who came away with it on that far side. Might have been Cole Brown again. I think it was Cole Brown again. And Cole, whatever happened to you at the bottom of the pile, I'm sorry, but thank you for getting that football.
Without a doubt. You know, we made the point during that TV break that you just kind of wonder the fact that Trey O'Gwen had gotten ejected for the game because of the targeting penalty. You wonder where he would have been in that long touchdown pass because he's the starting free safety for UNK, but it's immaterial. UNK is going to come out of here with a win. That's a big deal.
Well, they get some big plays on defense and special teams, and another TJ Davis rushing touchdown. UNK gets its second win of the season to improve to 2-3, taking down Washburn 27-21. A hard-fought win thanks to a strong fourth quarter.
Thanks, Scott.
Lots of coverage still to come here in the postgame. We'll have a visit with head coach Ryan Held and a look at your top plays. That's coming up following the Loper victory on News Channel Nebraska.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back in the future.
We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes. The wedding bands. We'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
What does farming mean to you? For most, it's hard work, dedication, and livelihood. Unfortunately, that also comes with risk. At Nebraska Crop Insurance in Beatrice, they know the non-stop dedication involved to keep your family protected from that risk and ensure their livelihood. Not only do they know everything about the coverage you need, they're also farmers themselves. So protect what means the most to you with the agent who knows what it means to be a farmer. Nebraska Crop Insurance, 615 Dorsey Street in Beatrice.
From the moment something didn't feel quite right, to that ambulance arriving at your door, from the immediate diagnosis, to the surgery that followed, to the long list of lifestyle changes, and that family gathering that everyone always talked about, but for whatever reason kept getting postponed, to the moment you sat back and realized how grateful you are for everything you have. We've been here for you, just around the corner. Columbus Community Hospital.
Drive over winter in a new Jeep 4x4 from Midway Chrysler in Kearney. Lease a new Jeep Compass Latitude 4x4, only $331 a month, during Jeep Adventure Days at Midway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Kearney. Or you can shop online now at thinkmidway.com/CDJR.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
Anything for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more. From little feet to little paws, to updates and overhauls. From soft and cozy to durable and resilient. From something that blends in or something that's different. From DIY to custom install, O Street Carpet can help you with it all. Whatever your needs are for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USafe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
Coach Ryan Held with me following a Lopers victory. Well, no matter how you get it done, you get a victory in the MIAA. How did this one feel?
It feels great. You know, we've been fighting and scratching and crawling and doing whatever it takes. It got a little hairy there at the end, but our guys just keep finding a way to compete. Obviously, there's things we have to continue to get better at, but at the end of the day, as Al Davis used to say, it's just win, baby.
And the defense, a big reason why you got this win. They pitched a shutout in the first half, held strong in the second half, constant pressure on the quarterback, plus a pretty neat little strip sack for a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, our defense has been getting better. They're pretty good. Coach Schaffner does a great job of those guys where they're starting to find their way. We did some good things offensively, but then we had some other plays that were so we got to continue to get fixed, but we found a way to get it done, and it was a good team win today.
And special teams gets another punt block, often an overlooked unit, but it got it done today.
They did. We had the punt block there, which really set up the one touchdown in the short field position. Special teams are, third of the game, and our guys were able to find a way to make a big play in that, and we'll just continue to stress that. We got a big one against Central Missouri next week, but you know what? We're going to enjoy this one right now because it's not easy winning in this league, and we feel good about it today.
Well, congrats on the W, Coach. Good luck on the road.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
It's Ryan Held with the Lopers. We have your top plays coming up on News Channel Nebraska.
Champions are crowned each year in Lincoln. All of us at Visit Lincoln welcome the athletes, families, and fans from across Nebraska to our community. When the final whistle blows and the game ends, make sure to discover how Lincoln can make your stay even more memorable. Stop by the Visitors Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit us on the web at lincoln.org. Visit Lincoln is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
Get 0.9% APR financing on new Sierra 1500s and make no monthly payments for 90 days. We are professional grade at Central Nebraska's premier GM dealer, Midway Chevrolet Buick GMC in Kearney, or thinkmidway.com/GM.
Whether we're talking commercial or residential plumbing, Lamel Plumbing is the place you call. Lamel provides 24-hour emergency service as well. Call them if you get in a tight spot. And as for their retail items, well, you got to check out some of their faucets, some of their kitchen items, and some of their bathroom items like their Onyx showers. And hey, say you've got a digging job, you call Lamel Plumbing for that too. They've added a full-time crew for you, doing backhoe, trenching, and sewer work. Take that digging job off your list and have Lamel do it for you. That's Lamel Plumbing in Beatrice, now at their new location on North 7th Street in Beatrice.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
New Ram trucks available now at Midway Chrysler in Kearney. Take over $10,000 total savings off new Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4s. It's Ram Power Days at Midway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Kearney or thinkmidway.com/CDJR.
UNK is a place where quality education meets hands-on learning, and going the extra mile gets rewarded. It's a place where you can put yourself out there, reach your goals, and set new ones you never thought possible. Be yourself, but develop the best version of you. Let us show you what you're made of. Be blue, be gold, be bold. Apply now to the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Learn more at unk.edu.
My dad's addiction and death from overdosing on opioids has taught me it's likely that everybody knows somebody who is struggling with this very problem. Losing my mentor, my best friend, he took one pill too many that ultimately killed him.
At JSP, we show up every day with one goal in mind:
taking care of the great people of the communities we serve. For the last 15 years, keeping people comfortable in the Hudson Valley has been our main priority. Our award-winning customer service and customized solutions make calling JSP a simple choice. Our trained professionals can solve almost any issue in your home or business and make you another satisfied customer. Call JSP today.
A partner in your everyday since 1975. Woodhouse.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Tom Dinsdale Auto. Celebrating 20 years, Tom Dinsdale Auto is proud to be community-driven. And by News Channel Nebraska. Check us out on Twitter at NCN Sports.
New Ram trucks available now at Midway Chrysler in Kearney. Take over $10,000 total savings off new Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4s. It's Ram Power Days at Midway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Kearney or thinkmidway.com/CDJR.
Welcome back here to Foster Field, Cope Stadium. Michael Shively, Scott Hoffman with you. We'll wrap up this broadcast. It's 27-21, the final score. UNK defeats Washburn. Your top plays brought to you by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items? Currency is here to help. Visit gocurrency.com for details. Two conference opponents at 1-3 on the season. They are hungry for a victory on a windy and hot afternoon in late September. And UNK gets going offensively first. After the poor snap, TJ Davis takes it in for 6 on the read option. He makes the right read. That's typically keep the ball, your TJ Davis. Tell Spees unabated to the quarterback. That means he gets a little jiggle of the belly and a celebration for the Mullen native. He was busy this afternoon. Handoff to Marius Hosey, and Hosey finds his way in for 6 more. Miss on that first extra point meant that it's 13-0 here for UNK at halftime. To the third quarter we head, and Washburn trying to find some offense, and they do. That's a touchdown pass to Connor Searcy from freshman quarterback Sam Van Dyne. 13-7 now the score. Another juggle of the snap from Davis. He's able to keep the play alive, trying to make a play and trying a little bit too much. It's picked off. Couldn't quite get it far enough wide to be a throwaway there. Now fakes the option, goes deep, has Sev Foster. 42-yard touchdown. It's 20-7 Lopers. Big play. That was after a successful option the snap before. Talk about bad snaps. There was one, and it leads to an opportunity. Joko Willis with the strip sack gets the football, applies the spin, and runs down the sideline. A 35-yard fumble recovery and touchdown for the Auburn transfer. And that helps build the Loper lead to 27-7. Now in the final few minutes of this game, on third down, the Lopers go for the pick. They don't get it, and a touchdown pass thrown by Sam Van Dyne. But it's not going to be enough. Washburn did get one more score after that, but the Lopers had built enough of a lead and get the victory 27-21 to improve to 2-3 on the season. Lots to build on here. It played well, especially defensively and at times on special teams. Still looking for some offensive consistency. If they find that, they can compete in these next 2 road games against Central Missouri and Fort Hays.
Without a doubt. You know, they, from time to time, put together some really nice offensive drives, distributed the ball to several players, ran some option, which, of course, is TJ's forte, and were able to keep Washburn's defense off balance just enough to get some of those scores when they needed them. And, of course, the defense rose to the occasion. Special teams played an excellent game today as well.
Our next broadcast is Saturday, October 21st, a noon kickoff. The Lopers playing host to Missouri Western. And here's hoping they're 4-3 when we go to that game.
Let's hope so.
Well, thanks so much to everybody who made this broadcast possible. Our host here at UNK, led by Sports Information Director Peter Yazvak. Also, Danny Alvarado in charge of our crew. Scott Hoffman, the color announcer, and our spotter today, Scott Miller. I'm Michael Shively signing off. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.